This is Zorrin cut. This is most of the usable footage taken from the 238 plus hours of recording 3 houses. If I am missing any supports in this group, it is either deleted or corrupted. Please understand that this is only in between the specified house. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, it would mean a lot. Thank you, and enjoy.
Well, scored a teaching gig here, did you? Talk about a great first impression. I guess that means I'd better introduce myself properly. I'm Claude von Regan. I'm from the ruling house of the Leicester Alliance, but don't worry too much about all that madness. I'm guessing you don't know which class you'll be teaching yet, do you? I bet you'd like ours. We're not as difficult as the other two. Have you met the folks from the Golden Deer House yet? Care to know more about anyone? Piqued your interest, have I? As luck would have it, I'm pretty curious about you as well. But what's life without a bit of mystery? Let's just spend the next year or so learning about each other little by little. Hilda is the only daughter of Duke Goneril. It seems her father and brother coddle her quite a bit. If you look up lazy in the dictionary, her picture won't be there because she never got around to submitting it. Not too unusual for a noble, I guess. He's the heir of Gloucester territory. If you haven't already picked up on it, he's a bit arrogant and fancies himself a ladies' man. That said, deep down he's really devoted and honest. Though I wouldn't mind never hearing him talk about his noble obligations ever again. Leonie enrolled because she wants to be a mercenary. I think she said that her father is a hunter. She's pretty blunt and as stingy as they come. A habitual saver, too. I think she's hoping to repay her village for helping to send her here. He's the second son of a merchant family. Since his brother will inherit the business, he's training to become a knight. If you ask me, it doesn't seem like he truly wants to be a knight. He's probably just doing it to please his parents. Lysithea is the daughter of Count Ordelia, and is probably the youngest student here. But watch out, she gets angry if you treat her like a child. As for me, I do it on purpose. You have to make your own fun in this place, you know? He comes from a merchant family, but his parents died in an accident. Seems like he's had a rough life. Despite all that, he's just about the most cheerful guy you'll ever meet. His passions are training, eating, and actually that's about it. Marianne is Margrave Edmund's daughter, and that's pretty much all I know about her. She doesn't interact much with other students, so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of folks here have never even heard her speak.
Zorrin cut. Golden Deer's conversations.
Are you actually reading, Hilda? I thought you hated studying.
Oh, hush. It's just a letter from my brother. He sends them all the time.
Your brother, huh? Isn't he known as a great general of the Alliance? A true beacon of...
Don't even start. That's got nothing to do with me.
Uh-oh, better not let your brother hear you say that. 'Twould break his fraternal heart. But all joking aside, it sounds like he really cares for you.
You can say that again. He must be rather bored, too, now that the situation in Elmira has settled down.
Ah, the Elmirans, the Eastern Menace, as they're often called. I did hear your brother had fought them a number of times. In fact, I hear he's even gone toe-to-toe with Nadir, the great Elmiran warrior.
Nadir, the undefeated, was it? Just another grizzled old man as far as I'm concerned. But my father was ecstatic when he heard my brother had defeated him. He paraded my brother all over our territory. What a pain that must have been for our people.
A pain? Any celebration is something to be enjoyed. Celebration puts smiles on faces faster than anything. I'm sure even you at least congratulated him, right? A smile from you would surely mean the world to your brother.
Well, sure. Then he got all worked up and started saying things like, I am the protector of Fodlan.
That's not far from the truth, you know? Why do you think the Elmirans have been so quiet lately? They're wary of your brother. If House Goneril of the Border were a bunch of weaklings, the Almirans would have invaded Foden a long time ago.
You talk about it as though you've spoken to the Almirans yourself.
Well, I am heir to the leading house of the Alliance. I'm privy to all kinds of information, whether I like it or not.
You act so nonchalant about your studies, but you know so much about politics and history. You're a hard guy to grasp, you know that, Claude?
Oh, I disagree. I'd let you grasp me any day. My hand, my heart, even my neck. But if you want to know all of my secrets, you'll have to bear yours as well.
Hey, Lawrence, got a minute?
Certainly. I trust you're well?
Doing great. I found a load of old weapons, just got done hauling them out of storage.
Old weapons, you say? If there are any interesting swords in there, I would love to see them.
They might only be good for training, but with a little care, who knows? Here, have some oil.
And, why exactly are you giving this to me?
Like I said, they need a little care. With a bit of maintenance, some of these will really shine.
Yes, I heard you. So why did you give me the oil?
It's for polishing, Lawrence. Don't tell me you've never polished a weapon before.
But that is hardly a task befitting someone of my station. If you had an exquisite blade, something of real historical significance to complement my noble heritage, that would be another matter.
In that case, appraise while you polish, you're bound to find something good working through these.
This seems as fine an occasion as any to air my grievances. I am a highborn noble. As such, it is my sworn duty to protect the common folk. I have no time for trivialities. What's more, you seem to be under the misapprehension that you can order me about. Please think carefully about how you speak to me.
I'm not ordering you around, and I'm not talking to you as a noble either. I'm asking you to help me with this, as a friend.
I am your friend, but I am also a noble. Those two qualities are not mutually exclusive.
Oh, good. Let's get to it then, buddy.
Good morning, Lysithea. Out for a stroll, are we? It's lovely weather for it. I might go wander outside myself. I'm sure I can see some beautiful sights.
Ignatz, hold still, will you?
Sure.
Your shoes are untied. It looks sloppy. Let me just fix it for you.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. But really, I'm perfectly capable of tying them myself.
Clearly that's not the case. Otherwise, this wouldn't be an issue. Now, hush. There we go.
Thanks.
You've also got awful bedhead.
What? But I examined myself in the mirror before leaving my quarters.
It's the back of your head. Quite unkempt. You really should get it together. I mean, really. You're born to a noble adjacent merchant family, aren't you? You really should be more presentable.
Sorry, Lysithea. You're always so perfectly put together. In fact, I'd say you're perfect in all respects. I don't think I've seen you fail at anything.
Well, consider that if I make even the slightest misstep, everyone will treat me like a child. There's nothing I hate more than that.
I see. Well, I think you're very mature. If anything, you may be overdoing it somewhat. I mean, people treat me like a child sometimes. But I like it, because it reminds me that other people care about me. You know? No matter how much we stretch, some things are always beyond us. I think it's fine to be vulnerable and ask for help sometimes.
Ignatz, are you really lecturing me about how I conduct myself right now? You're a sheepish, unreliable scatterbrain who can only ever think about what others think of him. Perhaps you should worry about your own maturity before you start questioning mine. Although you certainly look the part of a baby, so maybe that's asking too much. Anyway, I've got things to do, so I'm gonna go now.
Lysithea, wait. Hey!
Out of my way! You're such a child, I swear.
That was uncalled for. After all, I am older than she is.
Hey, Marianne, what you eating? Mind if I join you? I'm starving.
Huh? Oh,
All my favorite dishes are on the menu today. I might have grabbed too much. You want some?
No thanks,
All you've got on your plate are leaves! Are you sure that'll fill you up?
I'm done eating now. I have to go.
Huh? You're already done eating? But there's still food on your plate! Hey, Marianne! Huh. Maybe she's not feeling well. I should probably go check on her later.
Oh, is that so? I'm so happy you found all of that food. A little gray starling told me that you can find berries if you fly out toward the mountains.
Oh, I found Marianne. I didn't know she spent her time here. It sounds like she's talking to someone.
What's that? You want to try some nectar from the flowers in the greenhouse? That might be tricky. I guess you could try it if I'm already there. Otherwise, you might get locked in.
Hey, Marianne! Who are you talking to? Huh? Oh, the birdie flew off.
Yes, it looks like he has. What are you doing here, Raphael?
You were acting a little strange when we were eating earlier, so I wanted to check on you. I was worried.
That's sweet of you, but I'm fine.
Are you sure? Well, that's good to hear. As long as... Wait a minute! Were you just talking to a bird?
Excuse me?
I knew it! You can talk to birds! I'm right, aren't I?
Yes.
That's incredible! This place is full of interesting folks, but I didn't think anyone spoke birdie.
No, that's not it. This bird just happened to be speaking human.
Amazing! I hope I get to meet a bird who speaks human one day.
You. Just what are you up to?
Well, if it isn't Lawrence.
Yes, it is. Try not to sound so affronted. And you're just whimsically wandering the monastery grounds again, I suppose?
Oh, naturally. After all, I really do adore the Garrick Mock Monastery.
No, I think not. That impish look on your face does not suggest innocence. You are up to something.
Lawrence, control yourself. Let's not start throwing around baseless accusations. It's not proper. This monastery is packed with 1,000 years of history. Well, 5 years shy of 1,000 if we're going for accuracy. Those pillars, these walls, even the floor, they've all seen more than we can possibly imagine. Our distant ancestors may have walked these very halls. Doesn't that excite you?
Perhaps if this were a discussion about art, but I'm afraid walls and floors are not sufficiently interesting to hold my attention. Nor will they suffice to distract me from what is plainly suspicious about you. House Regan was on the brink of collapse until they suddenly revealed you as their legitimate heir. That was only a year ago. Where were you before then? Are you even a true heir to House Regan?
If I weren't truly of House Regan descent, how do you imagine I acquired my crest?
A crest is insufficient. I am referring to your noble disposition or lack thereof.
Well, that's what I came here to hone, after all. I can only hope that you will assent to instruct me in the art of snobbery, Professor Lawrence.
I do not think you grasp the significance of the responsibility you bear. Do you even know what it means to lead the Leicester Alliance? I take no pleasure in saying this, but much of the chaos in our ranks right now is due to the failings of House Regan's leadership. I intend to set things right, and once I expose you for the fraud you are and reclaim my rightful place, that is precisely what I will do. To be blunt, it would have been better had you never shown your face here.
Sheesh, that guy. He just can't be reasoned with.
I think I'm gonna pass out.
Whoa! Lysithia? You're really pale.
Yeah, I've been feeling really queasy all morning. I'm just heading back to my quarters to rest.
Can you even make it there in that state? Here, climb on my back. I'll carry you.
What? No. I'm not some sort of infant.
Always worried about looking like a kid. No time for that now. Just get on.
I'm feeling a bit better now. I should be okay from here. Thank you so much, Leonie. I hope I wasn't too heavy. Was I?
No, not at all. Actually made for a fun bit of training.
Training?
Yeah, carrying someone around is good for the legs. You're just the right weight for it, too. I might ask you to help me train again sometime. Anything can be a kind of training with the right attitude, you know?
Are you always thinking about training?
Well, I can't devote all my time purely to training, so it's more efficient if I can train while I get other stuff done at the same time.
Wouldn't that actually be rather inefficient?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, for example, if you're training for endurance, it seems running would be a better approach. If you're only ever training by cramming it in with other tasks, you won't be getting the best results. I'm no expert on the subject, but even I can logic that one out.
Come to think of it, you do always seem to stick to a pretty rigid schedule, don't you? I've noticed that you focus completely on whatever it is you've set out to do. Then you switch to something else and focus completely on that.
You've noticed, have you?
Now that I think about it, you may be right. Maybe that is the more efficient way to do things. Hey, you're really bright, Lysithia. Thanks so much for the helpful advice.
That was sweet of Leonie to check on me and carry me all the way to my quarters. And in the end, I just lectured her. She did thank me for it, but I probably could have handled that better.
Yes! Time for food! Hey, Ignatz! Is this seat taken?
Oh, hey, Raphael. I'm done eating, so you can sit here if you like.
Really? But there's still food on your plate.
It's fine. I'm not that hungry. Anyway, I guess I'll be heading off.
Oh, okay. Hey, Ignatz! Wanna train with me?
Oh my, that equipment's looking rusty. Let me fetch some oil.
What's the matter? It always looks like that. Come on, we'll take care of it later.
Nope, you have to do it as soon as you notice. There's oil in the warehouse. I'll be right back.
Hey, Ignatz.
Hello, Raphael.
Are you busy? I need to talk to you.
No, that's... Oh, almost forgot. It's time to return this book to the library. I'll just...
Hey, hold up. Are you seriously gonna keep running away from me?
What? No, I'm not running.
Yes, you are. Every time I try to talk to you, you make up some excuse and run. What's going on? You were a lot friendlier to me when we were kids. You were always so excited to show me all the neat stuff you had whenever I came to visit. We'd play hide and seek with my little sis, draw pictures, and do other fun stuff too. Remember all that?
Things can't be the way they were. It's regrettable, but it's the truth.
Regrettable? What's there to regret?
I mean, you know, what happened to your parents. My parents are the reason your parents died.
What are you talking about? My parents died in an accident while traveling for work.
Maybe so, but they were taking over for mine because they had other business that day and couldn't go themselves. So, they recommended yours to fill in for them.
Huh. I didn't know that. But what does that have to do with our friendship?
No, but see,
Oh, I see. But we're done talking about this. You gotta stop beating yourself up over it. It was an accident.
He's just putting on a brave face. No one is that forgiving.
Why do I have to clean the library? It looks like you're not busy. I was quite busy sampling pastries, I'll have you know. Who wants to sort books anyway? They're so bulky and heavy, it takes forever to lug them around. Right, Marianne? You agree with me, right?
No, I don't mind it.
Oh, you like cleaning then? I will say you look like someone who'd be good at it.
Well...
In that case, it's all yours. I'd only slow you down if I'm being honest. As I always say, if you want something done right, let someone else do it themselves. Right. I'm off to run some errands. I'll leave all this in your capable hands. Hey, Marianne, are you... Whoa! What happened? This place looks even worse than before. I didn't realize that was possible.
I'm sorry, Hilda. I just didn't know the best way to organize the books while sorting.
Oh, well, no way around it, I suppose. I'll show you how it's done. First, you have to decide where you'll put each topic. Then, all of the books that don't match that topic, remove them from the section. When you remove them, you need a temporary place to put them. Let's put books on magic here, books on swordsmanship here. Once you've done that, you just put the books back in their sections, like so.
Wow, Hilda, that was incredible.
Yeah, what kind praise. Looks like in the end, I'm doing this whole thing on my own,
Sorry. The least I can do is help you put them back on the shelf.
Ah, so I see. If one were to combine this incantation method with the power of a crest, then in theory, it should...
Hey there. Still studying, are we? Isn't it past your bedtime?
Claude, I really don't appreciate you interrupting me right now.
But if you don't get your sleep, you're never gonna grow big and strong.
Uh-huh. The last thing I need is you fretting over me as though I'm some child. I'm only a few years younger than you, you know. Hardly worth noting. Furthermore, my grades in magic, and basically every other subject, are far higher than yours.
Whoa there. I'm not trying to treat you like a child, I promise. This is me treating you like a princess. Now, come along, princess. Brush your teeth and get yourself ready for bed. I could read you a story if that helps.
Ugh, the audacity! Whatever it is you think you're treating me like, it's unendingly annoying.
If a child and a princess are out, what's left? Should I treat you as a noble hero? Draw your sword, Lysithea. If you wish to continue studying, you must first defeat me in battle. Come now, face me like the hero of legend that you are.
I find myself speechless in the wake of your staggering ignorance. Now, please, leave me be.
Okay, I can take a hint. But in all seriousness, you shouldn't neglect your sleep. You'll fall ill if you push yourself too hard. Oh, and just so you know, I heard a rumor that this library is haunted. It's probably not true. Right? Right. Anyhow, I'm off to bed. Good night.
You know, I am suddenly rather sleepy. Excuse me while I see myself out.
No matter how she tries to hide it, she's still a young girl at heart.
Hey, Leone. Are you just getting back? Whoa, what's with the bag? It's huge!
Oh, this? I thought I'd get all my chores done at once. Guess I got a little out of hand. Sorry to be a pain, but could you help me out?
I'm happy to help. Where'd you go to get all this stuff?
Well, first it was just the cloth scraps from the tailor, and then it was the used oil from a restaurant in town. After that, it was the books the scholars didn't know what to do with. I mean, that was just on the way.
Whoa, it sounds like you did a lot of running around today.
It wasn't so bad. I just figured it would save time if I did it all in one trip.
You planned all that out? Impressive! What are you gonna do with all that stuff you got?
The scraps will be good for dishcloths, and I can make soap from the oil. The books are just to help with my studies.
You really can't let anything go to waste, can you?
Nope, can't stand the idea.
Who knew you were so thoughtful? I mean, with actual thinking ahead. You're so generous to everyone and always making me food. I never knew how much thought you must put into it.
I cook to relax, and it's nice seeing how enthusiastic you get about eating what I make. Whatever I give away is just the stuff that isn't useful to me. I pick up all sorts of things when I'm in town. Giving things like that to people who need them or who can actually use them makes sure they aren't wasted.
That makes sense. You've got to use up the stuff you've got after all. Hey, do you think you're like this because you didn't have much growing up?
I guess times were tough now that you mention it. The folks in my village definitely aren't rich. My dad had to go through a lot of trouble to get the recommendations I needed to attend the academy. That doesn't mean I've grown up to be stingy. It just means I don't like to squander. Anyway, enough of that. It's in poor taste to go on about your own hardships. I've always got time for a meal with a friend, and it so happens I picked up some choice meat today. Why don't we share it?
Now you're speaking my language.
Hello, Marianne. You're well, I hope?
I am, Lawrence. Thank you.
I cannot help but notice you do not look it.
Is that so? I feel fine. Was there something you needed?
How unseemly of me. My apologies. It is not my intention to stare.
Does something about me seem off?
Oh, not at all. I was just remembering your father. Or rather, comparing my experience of him to you. Your father, Margrave Edmund. He is one of the shrewdest nobles in all the Alliance, with a noted gift for pointed speech. On and beyond the battlefield, his words have the power to move friend and foe alike. My own father has said he would not want to make an enemy of him. Naturally, I am of the same mind. Your father is blessed with gifts of confidence and eloquence, yet compared to him, you seem always reticent and downcast. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cause you discomfort. It's just that the contrast between you and your father is striking.
I have very little in common with my adoptive father.
But he sent you to Garreg Mach. Clearly he sees potential in you. I think I see it too. Yes, a certain charm, gravitas if you will. Just like him. Oh.
I can't say that I know too much about him. I should be going now.
Yes, of course. Please, take care. Oh, such grace, such serenity. How could such a beauty be hiding in plain sight? With a little polish, she would shine magnificently.
Hey, Ignatz. Sorry to keep you waiting. Ready to start cleaning?
No, that's all right. Actually, I'm just finishing up.
Oh, it's true. Look how tidy everything is. You've done such a marvelous job. I'm glad I didn't get in your way.
Thank you very much. So anyway, you can go now. You were talking to your friend, right? I just have some things to put away. It's okay, I can manage without you.
Oh, Ignatz, I thought I saw someone earlier. That was you, wasn't it? You know, I'd have been willing to help. You could have just said, hey, let's go and clean.
It's all right, you were having a conversation. I didn't want to sneak up like I was eavesdropping, and really, I didn't need help.
Oh, Ignatz, you darling. You're so considerate. Thank you so very much.
Glad to be of service. I'll start putting all this away.
Not so fast.
Well, what's the matter?
Aren't you overdoing it? Don't you think you might be taking on too much,
Oh, I didn't expect to hear that from you.
Let me give you some advice. It's true that I like to delegate as many tasks as I possibly can, but when someone helps me, I make sure to lavish them with praise as a reward for their hard work. So, then we come out even. On the other hand, look what almost happened just now. You did all that work for me, and I almost missed it. Now, where would that leave you? With no praise, no thanks. You'd be losing out.
Personally, I'd prefer to lose out, rather than inconvenience someone else. For instance, I'd have felt terrible for intruding on your important conversation earlier. Consider the negligible loss to me versus the major inconvenience to you. Personal loss is always going to be the better choice. Right?
Huh. Well, if that's how you feel, then I'm not sure how to convince you otherwise.
Tell me, Marianne, do you have a love of flowers?
Well, I don't dislike them.
I've happened upon a spot that's just teeming with splendid blossoms. Would you like me to show you?
I think I would rather stay. It would be for the best if you kept your distance from me.
Well, perhaps I could pick a few of the nicest and present them to you. With a beautiful bouquet in your arms, your magnificence would rival even that of the goddess.
I would never compare myself to the beauty of the goddess.
I see. Well, I don't mind. Oh, that is a lovely handkerchief you've got there. Did you know that a handkerchief reflects the sensitivity of its owner? Yours tells me you have quite a refined sensibility. If you only applied yourself a little more to the rest of your ensemble, there is no doubt in my mind.
If you admire my handkerchief so much, you may have it.
No, please, that is not what I meant.
It was a gift from my adoptive father. I didn't choose it for myself. I'm sure I don't share his refined sensibilities, though, considering how little he and I have in common. I have to go.
Such beauty. And yet, with just a little polish, she'd be a marvel. If only she'd put in some effort. I wonder. Indeed, I shall make it my mission to awaken her beauty. There is nothing that I, Lawrence Hellman Gloucester, cannot do.
There we go. Time for a break.
Hey, Raphael, that's quite a load you've got there.
It was my turn to do the shopping again, but I might have overdone it.
Aren't those trips usually for food supplies? Why did you pick up a bunch of spears and gauntlets as well?
I was passing by the smithy, and the old man called me over. He said he was finished repairing the training weapons, so I grabbed them since I was already there.
I see. And those books?
I had just left the smithy when I ran into a merchant I recognized. He said he had some books that he brought for the library, so I took them off his hands.
Right. And that desk?
Oh, this? Can you believe someone threw this away? It only needs a little work and it'll be good as new. Someone around here was just saying that they needed a desk.
Of course. Now, this is just a friendly observation, but I see surprisingly little of the food supplies that we actually need.
Well, I worked up an appetite from carrying all this stuff, so I had a snack on my way back.
Raphael, I appreciate the thought, but you can't get so carried away with helping out like that. You helped us all right out of dinner. And now that I've seen your struggle, I have no choice but to join in this vicious cycle of charity. Here, I'll lend you a hand.
All of this stuff is pretty heavy. Are you sure you can handle it?
You insult me. And no, I can't. I'll only carry the books and offer my support as you handle the rest.
Why do I have to organize the library? I'll get in trouble if it's not done, and I can't think of anyone who'd do it for me. Since no one else is around, though, time for a little break. What are those sounds? Ha! Yeah! Leonie, always at it. How exhausting that must be. What's this?
Hey, what are you doing? That's mine.
If you leave it lying on the ground, people will think it's trash.
I usually wear it around my neck, but I put it down while I'm training so I don't get sweat all over it.
Well, people won't know that, will they? You should have just left it in your room.
It's a good luck charm. If I don't keep it close by, then what's the point?
How stubborn of you. I will say it looks to be a very well-loved charm.
Captain Gerald gave it to me when I was a kid.
If it's that important to you, you should wash it. Then again, I suppose it is made of wood. Have you considered coating it with resin? That would preserve it nicely. You could even accessorize it, make it look cute.
Thanks, but Captain Gerald made it especially for me. I'd really rather keep it just as it is.
Well, if that's how you feel, I won't argue with you. Me personally, I'd choose a cute necklace over a dirty old charm any day.
I'm sure you would. But Captain Gerald didn't treat me as some young girl. He treated me like a person who mattered, an equal. He taught me everything. I don't want to forget his teachings, so I'm going to keep this charm just the way it is.
Huh, what do you know?
Ignatz, let us take a short break. I will pour tea. Please choose a teapot for us to use.
You want me to pick one?
I don't see any other Ignatz around here, do you? Go on now, we're wasting time. The pots are over here. I will leave the selection to your judgment.
Let's see. How about this?
That's rather plain. Why did you choose that one?
The tea you chose has a very subtle taste, as well as a smooth, light texture. Such an unassuming tea calls for an unassuming pot, and one that complements the tea's color. In addition, the pot I selected has a floral design. Although we can't go for a walk today, we can still bask a little in nature's beauty.
Very interesting. You know, you have an absolutely marvelous aesthetic eye. Precisely what I would expect from the son of a merchant house that has enjoyed the Gloucester's patronage for so many years. After we graduate, when you begin your trade in earnest, I will introduce you to my father.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. But I'm afraid I'm already on the path to becoming a knight.
Ah, right, you are a second son. Still, your eye for beauty is a talent that should not go to waste. Very well. If you are to be a knight, then I shall happily take you into my service.
Ah, well...
What, does that displease you?
Not at all. I just need a little time to think it over.
His eye for the arts is unwavering, but in all other matters he is woefully indecisive.
Oh, Marianne, there you are!
Lysithea? What's all this commotion? What's happening?
There's been an accident at the training grounds. A spell gone amok. Come on, we need all the help we can get over there.
Oh no, but I don't know how
We could really use your help before things get out of hand. Come on, hurry!
I don't think I would be much help.
Oh, for the goddess's sake! You won't know unless you try, will you? Don't decide you're of no use without even giving it a shot. Fine then. Forget it. I'll go on my own. You can just stand here and stare at the wall.
I'm sorry. I can't do anything right.
Oh, perhaps I took it too far. Hey, Marianne, do you have a minute? Listen, I'm sorry about all the stuff I said earlier. The situation was urgent, and I'll admit I wasn't thinking clearly. I shouldn't have been so callous. I hurt your feelings, didn't I?
No, it's fine. I'm the one to blame.
Huh? But hey, are you sure you're
I'm the one who should apologize. All I did was get in your way. You would have made it to the training grounds much sooner if I hadn't slowed you down.
Huh? Wait a second.
It's all my fault. It's always my fault. The accident was probably my fault too.
You're being so... negative. I don't know what to say.
Is the water supposed to be this cold? God, my head slipped again.
Hey, what's that noise? What are you doing?
Sorry. I'm sorry, okay? Another fine mess I've gotten myself into.
What happened, Claude? You're soaked.
The student whose turn it was to do the dishes today was ill, so I volunteered to take his place. The dining hall lady was on my case the whole time for breaking plates and getting water everywhere. Actually, not everywhere, mostly on myself. It was just one big mess. It wore me right out, too. I could really use a nap about now.
You might be a noble with a fancy bloodline, but you sure don't act the part.
Being noble or common doesn't have anything to do with washing dishes.
Oh, I dare say most nobles would refuse to do it. But hey, I prefer it your way. You don't act like you're better than everyone.
I'm honored that you acknowledge my greatness. And I'm rather fond of your blunt way of praising a person's strengths, too.
Really? To be honest, I don't actually trust my own ability to read people. I like to look for the good in them, but that doesn't always mean it's really there. I mean, you seem like a good person, but your heart could be black for all I know.
You say you can't figure people out, but what you said just now was pretty shrewd. It's wise not to trust appearances alone.
I'll keep that in mind. Though, I'm not sure I should be taking advice from someone covered in dish suds.
Oh, yeah, I see your point.
Lawrence, at it again.
Hello, Hilda. Are you training too? If that's the case, I may have to revise my opinion of you. Increased strength and skill would serve as perfect complements to your beauty and esteemed lineage.
No, I just left something here. I don't share your tireless work ethic. You're quite something. I don't think I've ever seen you take a break.
When the fate of all the Alliance rests on your shoulders, the rigors of training seem paltry by comparison. Besides, when my admirers see that even an individual of my talent possesses a diligent work ethic, it is sure to inspire them.
I see, but I was wondering... Never mind. You're clearly busy.
Oh, is there something you require? What do you need? There is nothing I cannot handle.
Oh, the trouble is, I'm no good at fighting. I'm a fragile young lady, not a fearsome warrior. I didn't even want to join the academy, honestly. My brother made me.
Of course. For a delicate flower such as yourself, no doubt battle must present a terrible hardship.
It does. It truly does. So I was wondering if, in the next training session, you do my fighting for me? I mean, I can put on a tough, I'm actually fighting kind of air, but that's not quite enough on its own.
Please, leave all of the difficulty to me. I shall permit no harm to befall you.
I'm so happy. In that case, I'll focus on giving a convincingly soldierly performance. You know, Lawrence, you're a good guy. Not that I'd have expected anything less from a noble.
With each of your foes that I vanquish, I shall only become ever stronger. Yes, leave it all to me.
What a guy. And all I had to do was ask. Maybe I'll have a snack.
Is that everything?
Yes, that's the last of them. Thank you, Marianne. Just when I thought all the laundry was dry, the wind got stronger, and by the time I realized what was happening, there were clothes dancing across the sky.
That must have been frustrating to watch.
I didn't imagine they would float all the way to the stables. Thanks again for helping me pick them up.
It was no trouble. They landed right at my feet.
Well, now I can hang it all back up before sunset. Everything should be dry by the day's end. All right, I should get to...
Are you alright?
Uh-huh. The hamper's just a little heavier than it looks. Do you think you could give me a hand? Whew, we got here just in time. Thanks for the help hanging everything up.
It was nothing.
Huh. What is it?
I'm sorry. I know I'm not much fun to be around. I'm not very good at small talk either.
Oh, no, that's all right. After all, just look over there.
Huh? Oh, the flowers are lovely.
They were mere buds until just the other day. Now look at those gorgeous blooms.
How wonderful.
If we'd been chatting away, we might never have noticed them. Sure, the laundry was an ordeal, but at least there was a silver lining.
Thank you, Lawrence. You've done so much for me. You've been a tremendous help.
It was but a trifle. Surely there was no small amount of danger, but in the interest of experience, I was happy to endure.
You're so strong that I can't help but feel safe in your presence.
Yes, of course. Although, no matter how much brute strength we bring to bear, it is important that there be a leader on the field as well. Without someone possessed of my sound judgment and adaptability, we would surely be lost.
Surely, yes. My thoughts exactly. But,
What is it?
I'm going to keep providing support from the back. You wouldn't mind doing more fighting for me, would you?
Oh, well, physically, I can, certainly. But if you mean on an everyday basis...
I knew you would. You have the generous soul of a true noble. I'll have to write back home and sing your praises.
Really? You mean to your father and brother?
Oh, yes. I have to write my big brother pretty often, as a matter of fact. He gets upset if I don't. And yet, I never have much to write about. I've been really straining for topics. That must strike you as a terrible nuisance, the idea of me blabbing about you in my letters.
Nuisance? Oh, hardly. Your brother is one of the foremost commanders of the Alliance. I can think of no higher accolade than to have my name passed on to his noble ear.
Then I'll tell him about all your thrilling exploits. Although if you can't help, that's okay too. I'll find something else to write about.
Oh, fear not. I shall show you exploits of a nature more thrilling than you could ever dream. Incidentally, when you write to him, please do not refer to me merely as Lawrence. Please use my full name, Lawrence Hellman Gloucester. This will be an excellent opportunity to advance the status of the Gloucester name.
What a funny boy.
This theory just isn't coming together. The thought behind it is sound enough, but...
Hey, Lysithea! Your forehead's all wrinkled. You look tense. Is something wrong? You know you can tell your big bro you know you can tell me anything, right?
Raphael, while I appreciate your offer, I'm not so sure you'll be much help here.
What does that mean? Oh, are you researching something complicated? In that case, yeah, you're probably right. Is there something else I can help you with? I'm really good at other things, like training.
I have absolutely zero interest in such things.
I have an idea. Do you want to get real good at playing tag? I can teach you. There's a trick to it that most people don't know, like to not get tagged and stuff. Let me show you. It's too sunny to spend all day inside studying. Come on, Big Bro's gonna take you outside.
Shut up! Can't you see I'm busy? Go bother someone else. What nerve you have too calling yourself Big Bro, like I'm your little sister or some nonsense. Just cut the act.
Did I really say that out loud?
Anyway, my grades are miles better than yours. If you want to play the part of Big Brother, you'd probably benefit from studying way, way more.
Like I said, I'm really good at other things. Just not classroom learning.
I can't stand all the excuses. Clearly, you're the little kid here. You got all that? Now don't bother me again. Understood? Bye.
She must be going through a rebellious phase.
Claude, why didn't you say anything?
You were praying so fervently, I didn't want to interrupt.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I wasn't praying.
No? What then?
I was just thinking about the goddess.
Were you now? Fascinating. Please, go on.
Not here. Let's go somewhere else.
So, you were pondering the existence of the goddess, then?
Yes. All right, consider this. The archives here have all kinds of texts about the goddess, right? But when people tell stories of the goddess, it's only myths and legends that glorify her.
They probably hope to rake in more followers by glorifying the goddess as much as possible. That would be why the church tends to quietly shove all of their more questionable records under some secret rug somewhere.
Claude, don't put words in my mouth. That's not what I said. I was just wondering what the goddess looks like. That's the kind of thing I like to think about.
What the goddess looks like? Well, I suppose if she really exists, she probably looks a lot like us. In fact, she probably wouldn't be so different from that old woman working here in the dining hall.
What? Claude, please stop. The goddess I imagine is absolutely beautiful.
How rude of you, Ignatz. I'm sure that old woman was lovely back in her day.
Aw, are you sure?
Thank you so much. You're always so kind to me. I'll have to repay you sometime. Lysithea? What are you doing there? Don't tell me you were listening just now and judging me getting other people to do my work for me.
I've got better things to do. Although, I do wonder why everyone is always so eager to help you.
I only ask for help if they offer. I don't ever pressure people.
So I've noticed. That's what strikes me as odd.
I suppose they're just so taken with me, they want to help me out.
I see. That would explain it.
Oh dear, I was expecting you to argue, not to agree with me right away.
There's no reason to deny what's clearly true. Everything about your outward appearance is immaculate and well thought out. Even your fingernails are always well kept and painted. No doubt your toenails are the same.
I can't tell if you're complimenting me or accusing me of something.
And you smell delightful, like candy. Or wait, am I catching a hint of floral?
I'm so glad you noticed. It's oil extracted from a flower that only blooms at night.
Floral oils, huh? I didn't think they had much use outside of homeopathy and house cleaning.
I have some right here, actually. Here, I can give you a splash. There we go. I put it on your wrists, so you'll want to rub them together. Body heat is what activates the scent. Your wrists and your neck are relatively warm, so they're good spots to apply the fragrance. For a very subtle fragrance, you can also try putting it under your clothing. So, what do you think?
It's lovely. Now I smell just like you, Hilda. Somehow, this makes me feel a little more mature. Thank you.
So that's it. She just wants to feel more grown up. She's hard to read, that one. That smile, though. Who knew she could be so cute?
Being kicked must have hurt, didn't it, Dorte? Do they think you won't gallop unless you're in pain? It must be difficult letting those brutes ride you.
Hey, Marianne. What are you up to?
Nothing.
Really? I was sure I heard you talking to someone. By the way, are you free right now?
Is there something you need?
I was about to go buy towels and soap, but the girls saddled me with all these specific requests. They want it all to look cute or to smell a certain way, but all that's just nonsense to me. I've always made my own towels out of old scraps and soap from used cooking oil. I've never given it much thought beyond that.
Oh.
But I've noticed you've got some really nice things. So you have an eye for that stuff, right? Obviously, I give you all the credit, and I'm sure everyone would be really grateful for your help.
No, I don't deserve that kind of praise.
Really? I don't think that's true. Come on, you'll be doing me a big favor.
My adoptive father tells me I shouldn't stray too far from the monastery.
That's nonsense. You've got to get some fresh air now and again.
I should stay. Besides, I wouldn't be much help. I don't think anyone would like whatever I pick out anyway. It would all go to waste. And I'm sure that having me around would just cause you misfortune, Leonie.
Are you serious?
I should stay here by myself.
Now, hold on just a second. You'll cause me misfortune? What kind of backwards talk is that? If you really don't want me around, then at least come out and say it straight. I'm sorry for the unwelcome invitation. Don't worry, I won't make the same mistake again.
Meat is the best! Veggies and fish are great too, but there's nothing like a good cut of meat.
May I join you?
Hey, Lawrence! You here to eat? It looks like you barely grabbed anything.
Please, this amount will suffice for me. There's no need to compare our portions.
No wonder you're so skinny. My little sis eats more than you. Come on, have some of mine. You need it more than I do.
You offer me half-eaten scraps? The nerve! With manners like that, even a nobleman would be an absolute disgrace. Have you no dignity?
You're pretty touchy, huh? It's probably just because you're hungry.
Raphael, please, do you mind? I cannot enjoy the simple pleasure of a meal in these conditions.
Why can't you enjoy your meal? You don't like what's on the menu? You wait here. I'll go to the kitchen and find something tastier for you.
That won't be necessary. Please, just let me eat. In peace. Alone.
I don't think you get it, Lawrence. Nothing goes with a meal better than good company. If leading the Alliance is your goal, you should really try eating with other people first.
I'm afraid I fail to see the connection between leadership and dining.
If you want to be a leader, you have to know how to get along with different types of people, right? If you really want to get to know someone, all you have to do is share a meal with them.
Quite the contrary, unfortunately. It seems the more time I spend eating with you, the less likely we are to become friends.
The more you eat with someone, the more you learn about them. Their likes, their dislikes, you know? You might get some of their food that way too. You can eat more and bulk up. All that talking made me hungry again. I'm gonna go get seconds.
Oh, what an absolute bother. But I suppose he does have a point about observations of character at the dinner table.
Claude?
Oh, Marianne. Have the gods taken pity on my lost soul and revealed a sign to me? I've been researching the 10 elites of Fodlan, but I can't tell fact from fiction. Anyhow, what can I help you with?
Well, I found this pendant, and I think it's yours.
Ah, right you are. Yeah, honestly, I'd resigned myself to never seeing it again. It's a keepsake from my uncle, who's passed on. If I truly lost it, my grandfather would have had my head. Thanks for returning it to me, Marianne. You saved my tail.
Please, it was nothing. I should be...
No, I think that's enough researching for today. Why don't you join me for a nice chat?
I just came to deliver the pendant.
Sounds awfully lonely to only talk to those whom you have business with. Do you really dislike talking to people that much?
It's just... I never know what to say. I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. We'll figure it out as we go. Tell me, are you like this with your father, too? Within the Alliance, Margrave Edmund is prone to debate. With a father like that, I would have thought...
Margrave Edmund is my adoptive father.
Oh, is he? I didn't know. Where were you born?
That is none of your concern. I really must be going.
She's hiding something, that much is clear. Ah, but that just makes me all the more desperate to know her secrets.
Right. Then this goes here.
Hello, Raphael. What exactly are you doing with that piece of wood?
Hey, Hilda. I'm just doing this.
With your bare hands. Impressive that just the outer ring is left. It makes quite a nice circle.
Yeah. I just gotta polish it up and paint it. Then the base of the necklace will be ready.
Sorry, did you say necklace?
How's it look? I bet it's the right size, too. And this tree bark smells amazing. Now I just need to carve these boar tusks to hang from it.
Boar tusks?
I almost forgot. I was gonna add these wolf claws, too. And I could even add some color to them.
And wolf claws?
Huh? Is something wrong, Hilda?
That necklace! It has a certain, rustic charm?
You're right. It really does. Want me to make you one while I'm at it?
Oh no, I wouldn't want to trouble you. Besides, I think it would look better on you than on me.
It would definitely look good on me. But this one's actually a birthday present for my little sis.
For your sister? Don't you think she might like something more feminine? Something cute?
Something cute? What's wrong with something tough and rugged? This necklace is gonna have tusks and claws and stuff.
But girls don't usually go for tusks and claws and stuff. There should be flowers or gems or... Here, I can talk you through it. If you're making a necklace for your sister, you might try putting a pretty little flower in a small crystal bottle and sealing it with resin.
If you say so. But where would I find a flower that was pretty enough?
Oh, honestly, I don't know much about flowers. But, now that I think about it, I remember hearing about a splendid flower that only blooms near Fodlan's throat.
Fodlan's throat? That's on the eastern edge of the Alliance. I'd have to leave now if I'm gonna make it back in time.
Yeah, that does seem like a bit of a stretch. Okay, let me think. Where'd he go? Well, no matter.
Oh, Professor, here's the map you... Well, there's always next time, I suppose.
Hey, Ignatz! Didn't you have something to talk to the professor about?
Oh no, nothing urgent. You didn't cut short your conversation because of me, did you?
Come on, do I seem like the type to do that? No, I just had a couple of questions about the bows. We're done now, so I thought I'd come and tell you.
The bows? Is something wrong with them?
Lots of them have come in for repairs lately, so I switched out some of the strings for stronger ones. They've been breaking less, but now they're harder to draw.
Ah, I see. I suppose people would prefer if you went back to the lighter bowstrings.
Maybe. If the only issue was the draw weight, I'd just tell people to get stronger arms. But the real problem is that you can't shoot as fast. The arrows also fly too far now.
I can see how slower shooting is a drawback, but the arrows flying farther, that actually sounds like a good thing.
Sure, on open plains, but up close you lose accuracy. That's why I thought it might be good to use different bowstrings for different scenarios. I wanted the professor's opinion about that.
Oh, good point. You know a lot about bows, don't you?
Guess I do. I grew up in a hunting village, so I've been around them my whole life. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily better than anyone, but at least I know what I'm doing. And you? Do you have something you're really good at?
Me? Oh no, I don't think so.
Well, I'm sure you'll find your thing someday.
I hope so.
Lysithea, do you have a moment? There is a matter of significance I'd like to discuss with you.
I know you're always seeking the attention of ladies, but why are you wasting your breath on me?
Don't be silly. I want to discuss the future of the Alliance, to have a constructive and candid exchange of opinion.
I'm not so sure I'm the one being silly. Actually, I'm busy. Stuff to do.
Now, hold on just a moment. House Ordelia will never benefit from such a narrow-minded mentality.
I was under the impression you were interested in me as a person. What do house matters have to do with anything?
As it stands, the bonds between Alliance lords are quite weak. If this state of affairs persists, I'm afraid those bonds may dissolve entirely.
I couldn't care less.
House Ordelia may be small, but a small house is fettered by fewer obligations than a larger one. Apply yourselves actively in diplomacy, negotiate wisely, and you could do much to help maintain peace among the neighboring lords. The recognition of those lords would benefit your house immensely. To that end, why not start with me, the heir to House Gloucester? It couldn't hurt for us to become friends, could it?
Yes, of course, when the time comes. But right now, I'm quite busy. Maybe later. As it is, I'm studying magic for the benefit of the Alliance, and I would appreciate it if you left me to it.
Ah, I see. Then forgive the intrusion. I will take my leave of you for now. But if there is any way I can be of help, to you or your house, I hope that you won't hesitate to ask. After all, as I'm sure you know, the future of the Alliance is my responsibility.
The future, he says. As though I have a future.
What are you writing there, Hilda? Wait, let me guess. You're replying to one of your brother's letters, right?
Of course. It's a pain, but I make sure to always send him a response, otherwise he'll worry. It's much easier than when we lived together. A few letters here and there are a small price to pay for this peaceful, brother-free environment.
Well, that's a fine thing to do, regardless of your reasons. As for me, it's been far too long since I've written to my parents.
Oh, I thought your father had died.
Not quite. He's still alive and kicking, as far as I know. The late Duke who died in an accident was my uncle.
I see. I do recall you mentioning that your mother was born into the Regan family. What's your father like, if you don't mind me asking?
He's quite the extravagant character. When I was a kid, he used to tie me to a horse and drag me around.
Excuse me?
In all fairness, I was quite a little brat. The horse thing sounds worse than it is. There's sort of a trick to it.
A trick I hope I never need to learn. Your mother didn't step in and make him stop?
Gods no, she'd just laugh right along with him. If my father is extravagant, my mother's more like a warrior goddess, or maybe a demon queen. This one time, she got into an argument with my combat instructor and wound up in a full-on fist fight with the guy. What's more, she won. My instructor was a mighty warrior, undefeated in 100 battles, but even he was no match for her.
Huh? But your mother is a lady of nobility.
True, but she was the kind of woman to elope with the man she loved and throw it all away. Not your average duchess at all.
Ooh, they eloped! I like that. It's so romantic. Imagine abandoning your family forever to be with the one you love. Not everyone can do that.
It's not a question of can, it's a question of will. Even someone like you who generally despises effort would pull out all the stops for something you really care about. Isn't that right?
Excuse me? I put in plenty of effort.
Hey, that was a compliment. Anyhow, I look forward to the day when something inspires you to try your absolute hardest. It will be something to behold.
Hello, Leonie. Busy as usual, I see.
Yep, lots to do. Not like you fancy nobles. Hey, can't you see all this stuff I'm carrying? Come on, move over already.
Alas, I cannot comply with your request.
Can't even ask a noble to take a step to the side, huh? That's a joke, right? You're kidding.
You've injured your foot. I could tell immediately by the way you are favoring it.
What?
Heavy lifting will only worsen the injury. Please, permit me to examine it.
Hey, cut that out! Isn't that improper or something, bowing to a commoner?
I am not bowing to you. I am tending your wound.
That's not what it'll look like. Hey, it's fine. Leave it.
Easing the burdens of the common folk is a natural obligation of the nobility. Now hold still and keep quiet for a moment, if you would be so kind.
That's a real pretty way to talk about sitting around in castles doing nothing. Let me tell you, everyone in my village is so grateful to be taxed up to the eyeballs for the privilege of— Ow!
Oh, it's quite swollen. And you're feverish. Fortunately, I do have an ointment here that should be of use.
What? You just carry that stuff around with you?
Certainly. It won't do to be unprepared if I happen across someone in need.
I don't get you, Lawrence.
It seems I've neglected to pack bandages. I'm afraid this handkerchief will have to suffice.
What, that fancy thing? Bit of a waste, isn't it? Hey, no thanks. I don't need some noble's pity.
What about the help of a friend? I am as much that as I am a noble, if you recall.
More of your weird logic.
There, that should ease the pain. And since you are recovering, allow me to carry this burden for you as well. There we are. Now, farewell.
I really don't understand that guy. Oh no, I completely forgot to thank him.
Oh hey, it's you. Going for a walk again today?
No, I'm on cooking duty today, and I have to head into town for some groceries.
All on your own? I'd better go with you. I'd be worried if you went by yourself.
No, please, I can manage on my own.
But won't you have a hard time carrying everything back?
Not at all. I'll be fine. I'm just replacing a few ingredients. Also, I may not look it, but I'm actually quite strong. I've been exercising every day.
You're right. You don't look it. Your biceps are a fraction of the size of Raphael's. If you start fumbling around under the weight of all the groceries, and then you trip and spill everything everywhere... Look, I'm just saying that could be your future. It could happen. It doesn't look pretty.
That's what you think of me, huh?
Yep. You're honestly a bit of a mess.
I see. If that's how you feel.
Oh, knock it off with the wounded puppy dog eyes. As though I'm some sort of villain in your story.
I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention. I'm just a bit sensitive, that's all. You're talking like you don't respect me.
I see. So now it's my fault? No matter how grown you seem to think you are, there's so much you're incapable of. You can play at being a mature adult, but it only ever complicates things, and that's exactly what makes you look like a child.
Oh, enough already! Would you just leave me alone?
Maybe I went a bit far that time. But he's so stubborn despite his ineptitude. I can't just leave it be. He's so foolish, constantly making a mess of things. Wait, but then...
No matter how much we stretch, some things are always beyond us. I think it's fine to be vulnerable and ask for help sometimes.
What he said to me before. To everyone else, do I seem just like Ignatz? Is that Raphael?
Yeah, I get it. But you can't be so picky. You need some meat in your diet. I don't know if you can eat human food, but bug meat might be good for you. That's right. You need to eat plenty of bug meat if you want to get big and strong like me. No more sweets for you.
What? He's talking to a bird?
Huh? Is someone there? Oh, Marianne! You're right on time. This little birdie was telling me that he misses you. And, oh, it flew off.
It appears so.
Why do you think birds fly away when there's more than one person around? Birds never seem to stay put, unless I'm alone.
Birds are very cautious creatures. They tend to fly away when they're startled.
You mean they're afraid of loud noises? Oops, that was probably too loud for the birds. Come on, Raphael. Keep it down. How's this? Do you think we'd be able to talk to birds together like this? I still haven't met a bird that can speak human. I was hoping you could introduce me.
Huh? I thought you were just talking to one.
I was mostly talking at him, not to him. He just said chirp chirp and stuff like that. I had no idea what he was talking about. I don't think he understood me either. Marianne, you always know which birds understand what you're saying, right? Next time you find a bird who understands you, I hope you let me know so I can join the conversation.
Now what am I supposed to do?
Claude, are you aware of the most recent conflict within the Alliance?
Hello to you too, Lawrence. And you'll have to be more specific. The Alliance is always bickering over one thing or another.
Margrave Edmund is raising objections over the assignment of his troops to the Eastern defenses.
If you please one noble, another will only gripe. No matter what happens, there will always be conflict.
That is just the kind of lackadaisical attitude that causes more conflict among us than necessary. Now, listen to me carefully. House Edmund may not hold much land, but the land they do control is quite rich. They also maintain a thriving port. Their influence is poised to rival even the most powerful players in the Alliance, yet claim they cannot spare a fair share of troops? Do you find it acceptable to let such an obviously unreasonable objection stand?
It's not as though the threat of Elmira to the east has proven all that threatening of late.
Such negligence! What makes you so certain the Almirans will not attack us tomorrow? If certain dukes hold back their proper share of support, it will only serve to weaken House Goneril's hold of our eastern flank.
Calm yourself. I am well aware that the financial situation of House Edmund is quite exceptional. However, what you fail to realize is that they're lacking in troops. They're not lying when they say they don't have that many to spare. As it were, the Almirans have been nothing but peaceful since we refortified Fodlan's Locket. And are you aware that Margrave Edmund paid the majority of the costs for those repairs?
Is that so?
In fact, it's largely thanks to the skilled craftsmen he assembled that the fortress is now so impregnable. I, for one, wouldn't want to attack a fortress as formidable as that.
I do see your point. If House Edmund has already made its fair contribution, then that is all we can ask. Very well. I withdraw my objection. But even the sturdiest fortress needs soldiers to defend it. If we continue to squabble amongst ourselves, it will eventually fall.
Well, and here I thought he only cared about status. Still, if someone like him really came to lead the Alliance, it would not bode well for Elmira.
Hey, I'm about to take out the trash. Got anything you want me to take?
How about these? Just some old study notes of mine.
Wow, that's quite the pile there. You sure it's all fine to throw away?
Of course. It's all safely stored in my brain now. If I concentrate, I can access any of it with ease.
Why am I not surprised? I wish I had even half your power of concentration. Okay, here we go. Ugh, this is pretty heavy. Well, it'll be a good workout. Oh, but you were telling me not to take my training so lightly. Still, can't hurt to get a little exercise in. I'll just take it at a run. See you later. What is it, Lysithea? Was there something in that pile of paper you wanted to hang on to after all?
No, that's not it. There's just something I want to say to you. I'm sorry for saying your way of doing things was inefficient. You've clearly grown plenty strong, doing things as you have. Not to mention, multitasking and training in that way surely presents interesting challenges.
Well, sure. But if everyone has their own methods, then your methods aren't wrong either. All you did was share them with me, so there's no need for apologies. Still, it's probably beyond me to imitate your levels of focus and concentration. How do you even manage to throw yourself into only one thing like that?
I haven't much choice. I can't waste even a single moment.
I can understand that. I'm sort of the same way. I hate feeling like I'm not getting enough work done. Anyway, You should just do what works for you. You've got something you want to achieve, right? That's why you feel pressured to study so hard.
Yes.
Then focus on what matters to you. Leave the rest to people who have the time for it. And hey, if you need any heavy lifting done, you know where to go. The way I see it, it's all training.
You know, Leonie, you're so kind, so strong.
Whoa, what's with the compliments all of a sudden?
I was just thinking what an incredible partner you'd make. Really, you've got all of the perfect qualities.
What?
I'm not simply saying that. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say.
You're making me blush. What a strange way to compliment someone.
Hey! Ignatz? Hey! Ignatz is here! What's gotten into him? Hey! Ah! Hey, you've been acting weird lately. Are you sick or something?
Raphael! No, I'm fine.
So what's going on with you? Are you worried about something? Want to talk about it?
I don't know about worried. It's just, you know, your parents.
Hey now!
Ah! What is it?
I thought I told you to drop it. Just forget about it.
I can't just forget about it. You lost your parents. And when you were in need, my family did nothing to help you.
Well, what were they supposed to do about it? It's not like they killed my parents. And besides, that's our folks you're talking about. That's got nothing to do with us, right?
I still can't help but feel responsible. Like I owe you somehow.
Look, if you want to do something, just be my pal like you used to. We can eat tasty meals together, play games, make jokes, and laugh until our bellies hurt.
Are you sure that's what you want?
Of course it is! We were friends before, and there's no reason we can't be friends now.
Raphael, thank you. And I'm sorry about before.
You've been an enormous help. Thanks so much.
Excuse me. I have some more supplies that just arrived for the infirmary.
Oh, were there more? I thought I'd gotten them all.
I just have bandages and other small things, but there might be more coming.
Well, I just got the boys to bring in the heavy bottles. Looks like we can't fit all of it without some rearranging, though. You know, if you'd arrived earlier, you could have helped me tidy up.
My apologies.
I don't really need your apologies. I need your help.
Oh, okay. How can I help?
How can you help? I said tidy up, didn't I? See the shelves there? See if you can clear out some space and tuck away the bandages.
I can try.
Hey, careful, Marianne. There's some strong stuff in those bottles.
I'm sorry,
No, look, just leave the bandages for now and move the bottles from the shelf.
I can do that. Now the bandages fell.
No! So in the end, I did it all by myself.
I'm sorry that I was no help. I just got in your way.
It's fine. We'll even it out with pastries.
You want me to get you pastries? I guess I can.
You seem so thoughtful and composed, but you're surprisingly clumsy. It's such an odd mix. I practically have no choice but to take over for you.
You're right. I'm sorry.
As you can see, if we were to face an enemy on this terrain, I would go here, and you would go here.
Hang on. If we're trying to repel the enemy, I should be positioned there, correct?
Huh? I'm not sure that's the best idea. Take a closer look at this map. See, there's a graveyard over here. Might run into some of those ghosts you hate so much.
Claude, will you knock it off already? So help me. If you continue treating me like a child,
Easy there. I'm sorry, okay? Just don't start blasting off any spells in here.
I've more pride than to turn an unarmed soldier to cinders. It wouldn't kill you to speak to me as an equal when we're discussing matters as serious as this.
Actually, I see you as more than an equal. There's no questioning the power you wield. And I was being serious about the formation just now. The bit about the ghosts was just me having fun with you. Or trying to. You're so smart, I figured you'd catch on to that right away. But back to the formation. Can you see why I arranged it like I did? The area I want you to guard requires the ability to adapt to an ever-changing situation. Who else could I trust with such a difficult task? You're my best bet for something like that.
Perhaps that's true.
Think back to the times we fought together. If I ever treated you like a child on the battlefield. I depend on you, Lysithea. I value your power almost as much as I do Teach's.
Truly?
I swear to you on all of Fodlan. I'd like to have my fun, but I wouldn't joke about something like that. I consider you a valued ally. I'll stop now before I inevitably drift back into teasing you again. Just know that I meant every word, okay?
Fair enough then. From here forward, see to it that you treat me with the respect of an equal. And I admit that you are not short on talent yourself, but don't go getting a big head over it.
Oh, it's Raphael. What's he doing at that desk? Hey, are you studying? I thought you'd given up on it. Nice to see her. What the?
Oh, Leonie!
What's wrong? Why are you crying?
I just got a thank you letter from my little sister.
Okay, maybe start from the beginning.
My little sister lives with my grandpa now. She's had to deal with so much since I decided not to take over the family business.
You might have to back up a bit more before this starts to make sense to me.
Our parents were merchants, but they died in an accident. We had some money saved at first, but Grandpa isn't healthy enough to work, and I'm not smart enough to work a job that requires much thinking.
That's really tough. Hard to make a fortune with just your strength, I'm sure.
I had to sell all our valuables just to pay my way here so I could become a knight.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure.
My sister wants the best for me, but she's the smart one in the family. She's the one that should be here. When I ask if she needs anything, she always says she's fine. She doesn't want to ask me for anything, because she knows I'm having such a hard time here.
She sounds like a great kid. So, what did the letter say?
It says she's happy and thankful for all the study materials I sent her.
That's good, right? Wait, where did you find extras?
I couldn't find any, so I just sent her mine. It's like you said, right? It's better to give them to someone who will use them instead of letting them go to waste.
Don't take this the wrong way, but don't you still kind of need those? Well, I guess if it makes her happy, it's worth it. Maybe I can scrounge something up for her too.
Ugh, where is it? Oh, hello there, Ignatz.
Yes, hello, Hilda. What's the matter?
Oh, it's just that I'm looking for a book. I can't seem to find it anywhere. I think it might be on one of the high shelves. Could you give me a hand?
I'm really sorry, but actually... Some people got hurt while training in magic. I'm rushing to grab some medical supplies.
Whoa, that sounds serious. Don't let me stop you in that case.
Thanks. I'll be right back. Sorry to keep you waiting. Now, what was the book you were looking for?
Is everyone okay?
Yes, it turned out to just be some scrapes and bruises. Oh, is that the book?
Yes, I went and grabbed a ladder. That made the book much easier to find.
You could have just asked someone else for their help.
Well, you said people were hurt, so I just figured everyone had more important things to do. Honestly, I don't love heights. It was a bit scary up there, but here we are. I managed.
I see. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't help.
Why are you apologizing, silly? Surely first aid is more important.
I thought you might wait for me to come back, that's all.
Oh, but giving first aid, that's not an easy job. I figured you'd be worn out. The last thing I want is to push you too hard.
That's thoughtful of you, Hilda. Thanks for watching out for me.
Oh, don't mention it. Do my cleaning again and we'll call it even.
You did such a lovely job last time. The floor was practically sparkling. I swear the air even tasted cleaner.
I'm glad you liked it. You're really good at giving compliments, you know that? I suppose that's why everyone's so eager to help you with things.
Exactly. By heaping praise on people, they're more eager to help me in the future. Oh, but that's not what's happening here. I was really, truly impressed by your cleaning skills.
I wish I had everything figured out like you.
What is it, Marianne?
I'm curious why you've been eating your meals near me as of late. I'm not much for conversation. I'm always at a loss for words, and I never know how to respond to questions.
Well, it's true that there are some who prefer a lively dinner table, but I prefer to eat in peace. With you, my meals are a relaxing experience. In fact, you are the most peaceful dining companion I've ever had.
Really?
There is a real grace and fluidity to your every movement. I greatly appreciate refined table manners. Observing you all this time, I believe I've realized what is so striking about you. Your beauty comes from the heart. It is an inner beauty. It is not some flamboyant pageantry, a product of external adornment or grooming. When I first noticed it, I thought that it could use some refinement, a little polish. But I was mistaken. You are perfect in your natural state, just as you are.
You think I'm beautiful? Just the way I am?
Certainly. To add a superficial luster on top of what you already possess would be offensively redundant.
No one's ever said anything like that to me before.
Alas, I am the only one with eyes. But perhaps it is for the best that your beauty not be revealed to all the world. Yes, it is certainly better that only I, Lawrence Hellman Gloucester, can appreciate your true magnificence. And on that note, I bid you farewell.
What a strange person. But being called beautiful just the way I am, that was nice to hear.
Whew. Time to rest.
Hey, Raphael. This scene, why is it oddly familiar?
It's almost like this stuff is drawn to me whenever I'm in town. I'm just happy I can use my muscles to help out around here.
But isn't your goal to become a knight? Running errands isn't exactly a knight's job.
I heard that proper knights always help those in need. Isn't that right?
Well, you're not wrong, but I think most people would consider that only a small part of a knight's duty. A knight's main function is to fight and defend, don't you think? That said, I'll agree that helping anyone and everyone who needs it makes you a remarkably virtuous person, which is even better.
If someone virtuous becomes a knight, they'll be a virtuous knight, right? That's about as proper as you can get.
Yes, I suppose so. I, for one, would certainly look for virtue in any knight that I recruited.
So you're saying I'm the type of knight you want to hire for House Regan?
Absolutely. If I somehow actually manage to become the head of my house, that is. I can't see into the future, but you have my word that I'll do all I can to help make your dream a reality. That is, if you're actually able to let somebody help you out rather than helping out the whole world by yourself.
I'm not gonna stop helping others, but you can do me all the favors you want. All this talk of being proper is making me hungry. For my first favor, why don't you bring me a snack?
Hey, Hilda. You said you wanted to talk? Whoa. What's with all these expensive necklaces? Why do you have them all laid out like that?
Pretty, right? I'll let you choose whichever you like.
Huh? Why would you do that?
Just choose. I want you to have one.
I'm not gonna accept a gift like that without a reason. Even with a reason, I'd probably decline.
Look how gorgeous they are, though. Wearing beautiful things gives you energy.
Maybe for you.
Yes, for me. Why would it be any different for you?
Because to me, those are just fancy decorations. Take this one, for example. How did you come by it?
This was the first necklace I picked out for myself.
It doesn't suit my style nowadays, so I don't often wear it.
That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. The sentimental value of each one. These necklaces are nice and all, but I don't have any special feelings or memories about any of them. But this charm, it's packed with things I don't want to forget. Captain Gerald's teachings and a lot of memories, too. Even if to you, it's just a dirty hunk of wood.
I do understand. But still, you're not going to be very popular with the boys if you keep wearing that dirty old thing.
Like I care about that.
You can drop the whole stony face to act. Come on, I'm offering to help you here. I could even make a charm for you as a gift, if you're really hung up on sentimental value.
Make a charm for me? You do that?
Sure, why not? I don't want you to be alone your whole life. Besides, this happens to be a talent of mine. It'll be really, really cute, so you'd better wear it.
Sure. I can't just accept a gift for nothing, though. I'll make one for you too, if you'll teach me how. And I'll put plenty of feeling into it, so when we exchange them, it will really mean something.
Oh, that sounds lovely. I'll gladly teach you how, but make me something cute, okay?
I'll see what I can do.
Ignatz, hello. What are you up to?
You frightened me.
Oh, calm yourself. What is it that you're drawing?
I thought I'd jot down some sketches of everyone while they're training. And then later on, I'll try to practice their moves on my own. But I can't really concentrate on sketching if someone's watching me.
Just sketches, Even so, they're lovely. There's such life in them. It's as if they're moving on the page before my very eyes.
You really think so? You know, I always hoped to be an artist.
With skills like that, I'm quite certain you could easily make a living of it. And your demeanor is different when you draw. Bolder somehow. Ah, yes, there's an idea. Perhaps in the future you will join my retinue as my personal painter. Wait, have we not discussed this arrangement already? I had decided to take you into my service as a knight, had I not?
Becoming a knight was my father's idea. Being an artist is out of the question, I'm afraid.
So you've said. Well then, I suppose you shall simply have to become a knight who also paints.
A knight who also paints?
I have seen your talent and can attest to it. Your gifts are too great to wither away in obscurity. A knight with the rare gift of artistic talent would be most welcome in my employ.
I had never thought of that. Still, I don't understand why you'd want me as one of your knights. As a fighter, I'm unremarkable.
There is more to knighthood than combat. Courtly manners, a dignified bearing, and an aesthetic sensibility are also essential. A knight with an eye for art and the talent to create it is sure to improve the image of the nobility.
Lawrence, I'd never have guessed you were prone to such eccentric ideas. Thank you. I'm feeling a little more confident after hearing your kind words.
Oh, no cause for thanks. It is a noble's duty to provide guidance to those in need.
Marianne, do you mind if I ask you about something?
Yes?
It's about animal behavior. Among us all, you surely know the most about animals. I've read that in outdoor battles, wild animals can sometimes cause unexpected confusion. What do you think would be the best strategy to... Are you listening, Marianne?
I was listening. I just don't think I can really...
For crying out loud! Why do you always have to admit defeat before even giving yourself a chance?
My advice would probably just put everyone in danger. You'd be better off without me.
This is beyond ridiculous. You're impossible. You seem convinced you're some sort of cursed being, destined to bring doom and gloom to anyone you encounter.
Well...
Why do you have such a terrible opinion of yourself? How could you possibly be so dense? Just nothing. Now you listen to me for a moment. I can see that you have some deep-seated turmoil you struggle with. I'll have you know I have quite a few issues of my own, perhaps more grave than yours, if you can imagine.
Really?
Yes, but I'm not the only one who has such troubles to contend with. Everyone does. That's why it's so important to maintain a positive outlook and do what we can. Each time we find the light in the dark, we grow, bit by bit. And without growth, what's the point in carrying on?
Lysithea, I envy your confidence and strength.
Don't envy me. Instead, just choose to find the positive, won't you?
Yes. Well, maybe someday.
The time is now! This is your moment!
Oh, okay.
That's more like it. Now to start, why don't you help me out by answering my questions about wild animals?
I'll certainly try my best.
A little closer.
Hey, Leonie. What are you up to?
Oh, come on. What'd you do that for? Look, you ran my quarry off.
You were hunting? Ooh, is the dining hall that short on food supplies?
No, but I like to hunt every now and again. Keep my skills sharp.
I suppose so. You're from a family of hunters, right? Well, there's no shortage of prey to hunt around here.
True. Not many hunters around the monastery, huh? Rivers full of fish, trees bursting with fruit, mushrooms ready to harvest all over. It's the kind of place where you can really be self-sufficient. Guess we can thank the goddess for that.
I don't know. I'm more inclined to thank the bountiful earth and the goddess for such things. The goddess may offer spiritual guidance, but she doesn't fill our bellies, that's for sure.
Not a very noble-sounding thing, to disregard the goddess and honor the land.
Leonie, whose grace do you suppose humans live by? The goddess? The nobility? I'd say it's neither. It's the endless bounty of this magnificent land that gives us life.
Won't hear me deny it. But who's to say it isn't the goddess whose protection makes nature thrive? I'm not the most devout person, but I'm not about to go around saying we don't need the goddess at all.
I said she gives spiritual support, didn't I? I wouldn't go so far as to say she's wholly unnecessary. But in Elmira, Dagda, Bridget, and plenty of other places, they don't believe in the goddess. Nature is a blessing that knows nothing of borders. The goddess is the goddess, and the earth is the earth. They should both be revered for what they are. Look, this is just my personal opinion. If you truly believe that everything depends on the goddess of Saros, that's
Hey,
your...
it's fine. You don't have to worry about me. I'm a believer, but I know there are those who aren't. And I kind of like your way of thinking. Giving thanks to nature and all. It makes sense.
I knew a wild girl like you would be able to get behind an idea like that.
What, like I'm feral or something?
Hey, you know, this kind of talk could be viewed as heresy if it was public.
Yeah, probably. We'll just have to keep it to ourselves.
Ah, there's yet another option.
Lawrence, what are you doing?
Oh, hello, Hilda. I'm using these pieces to represent soldiers on the battlefield. This will allow me to better visualize concepts of strategy.
Very good. Is it fun?
Oh, it is utterly engrossing. Look, swap out just certain pieces for others, and the board completely changes. Then, even considering the same types of units, employing different individuals calls for a new set of plans.
Oh, I see. Or I kinda see. It's hard for me to grasp really complex things like this.
Nonsense. It's thanks to your many requests that I've been adapting my fighting style of late. Working to accommodate you has convincingly shown me how essential it is to rethink tactics on a continual basis. After all, the risk of getting hurt is greatly reduced if you are prepared for any situation. So now I will be ready for anything.
Lawrence, you're so wonderful, I'm at a loss for words. I'm not just saying that to flatter you either, honestly.
Tell me something, Hilda. Did you make all of these ludicrous requests of me purely so that I might have the opportunity to develop myself? Because if so, I am deeply moved. Thank you for caring so thoughtfully and passionately for my personal growth.
You're welcome.
If you will permit me to return the favor, I do have one request to make of you. Will you hear me out?
I'm not usually one for fielding requests, but I can make an exception in your case, I suppose.
I would be so pleased to have the opportunity to observe you in action, in the heat of battle. Would you be so kind as to oblige me?
Oh, very well. You've convinced me. But if it gets too intense, you'll help me out, right?
Hey, Marianne? Are you there?
Yes. Can I help you?
Do you have a minute?
Huh? Oh,
Then, if you don't mind, would you come with me for a moment?
So, did you need something from me?
Yes, indeed. I have an urgent request.
Have I done something?
Oh, no, it's nothing like that. Really, you don't have to worry. Would you close your eyes, please?
Then how will I know where I'm going?
Just take my hand. That's it. There, right there. Perfect. Now open your eyes.
Oh, the town is glowing from the sunset.
Yes. Isn't it beautiful?
Very much so.
I was looking at it earlier and I thought to myself, I have to show Marianne.
But why me?
Because you're always looking at your shoes. You never get a chance to appreciate the scenery.
Oh,
See, the best thing about the scenery is, it's always changing. With the weather, the time of day, the season. So every view is unique. Never to be repeated. If no one sees it, it's lost.
You could have just enjoyed it on your own.
I wanted to share this beautiful landscape with you.
Thank you. I'm not sure what to say.
Hey, that's okay. I won't try to express this beauty in words either. Just look and remember. This will make for a nice memory. And maybe remember that I was here too.
I will. I really will. So heavy. I think I might have borrowed one too many books this time. And I have to return them at some point. Ah!
What's going on? Everything okay?
Just my luck.
Lysithia? Oh, wow. Look at the mess you made.
Thank you for the assistance. I can take it from here.
Were you planning on carrying this much weight on your own? Don't be ridiculous. You should have at least asked for help.
They're all books I need for my studies, and it's my own responsibility. No need to involve others.
I'm happy to help you carry some of them. How about half? That's fair, right?
No, really, I have this. I am not incapable, and I'm not a child.
As smart as you are, you sure are a silly person.
I'm so tough. I'm gonna stand my ground. I don't need help from anyone. And when things don't go my way, I'm gonna act all sad and moody.
You are remarkably talented at channeling me.
Huh? Oh, no. Sorry. I was imitating my little sister. Her name's Maya. She's way smart, but she can be pretty stubborn. You remind me of her. What I mean to say is that I want to help. So swallow your pride and ask. I'll be carrying the stack of books now. Got a problem with that?
Yeah. You seem obstinately determined to go against my wishes.
All right. Is this a good spot to drop them?
Hey, what are you doing? They need to be stacked neatly, otherwise they'll topple. This one needs to be rearranged, otherwise the rest won't fit properly.
Wow, talk about picky.
You're the one who was so insistent on helping. If you're gonna help, do it right or don't bother.
Fine.
Hey, Ignatz. Getting lost in your imagination again?
No, today I am praying. I'm hoping that if I pray with all my might, she will appear before me.
The goddess, you mean?
Yes. Perhaps it's strange to think about such things.
Nah, you're fine. If I had the chance to meet the goddess, I certainly wouldn't say no. Especially your version of it, huh? A total looker, isn't that right?
That's a disrespectful way of putting it. I just believe that she's a divine beauty. She'd have to be, considering how she mesmerized the people of Fodlan when she walked among them.
Too true. No doubt an incomparable beauty, that one. Funny to think that even now she must be somewhere, right? Well, I guess she's just floating on a cloud or whatnot.
Yes, indeed. Watching over us from above. And they say that someday she will return to walk amongst us again.
Well, don't mind me. You go ahead and get some good praying in. If the goddess appears, you let me know, okay?
What? No! If she does appear, I want it to just be the goddess and me.
It'll be way better if I'm there too. I'm saying this for your benefit, Ignatz.
Why?
Imagine an incomparable beauty standing before you. Do you really think you'll be able to remain calm?
Well, that is to say...
But if I'm there, I can smooth things over. Have a nice chat, invite her to tea, everything a goddess deserves.
Oh, well, I suppose that makes sense.
Of course it does. Now, get on with it. Pray like you've never prayed before.
Ah, found you! Hello, Lysithia.
Hilda? What's that box you're holding? It's making me nervous for some reason.
Your big sister Hilda's here, and she's going to make you look all grown up.
I don't recall ever asking you to...
That's right. I knew exactly what you needed. You didn't have to ask. Now take a seat. With makeup, you can't just pick your favorite colors. You must choose colors that suit you and the occasion. If you'll be up close and personal, if you're going to a ball, for example, you want to keep it subtle. On the other hand, if you're going to be on stage, the colors should be overt.
I've never used makeup before. It sounds complicated.
Let's put up your hair to show off your neck. But we'll leave a few strands hanging to make you look more vulnerable.
Why would I want to appear vulnerable? I don't want to be attacked.
This is for wooing, not warring. When you're older, you might understand the importance of looking a little vulnerable.
You're treating me like a child. But I guess it's mostly harmless.
Now, when you're standing, put your non-dominant foot a step back. It looks more elegant. When sitting, don't lean back, but don't slouch either. And ensure at all times you are gracefully extending your fingers.
Gracefully extending? Suddenly standing and sitting are an exhausting activity. Hilda, that's enough. This is wearing me out.
I knew you had potential. You'll go far, my darling. A couple of years to develop your charms, and no girl will outmatch you.
I'm not sure I'm cut out for this type of thing.
Oh, believe me, you are. With a little help from me, you'll have men falling at your feet.
No thanks. You're more suited to such things. I'll leave it to you. I haven't the time or the energy to fuss over how I'm perceived. Even with my best efforts, I'll never be as good at this as you are. Still, this was rather fun.
Thank you, Hilda. She really is brimming with untapped potential. When she smiles like that, wow, even my heart skips a beat.
Oh, hey, Marianne.
Leonie?
I thought greenhouse duty was mine today. What are you doing here?
Oh,
I'm sorry. You've been avoiding me ever since I lost my temper, haven't you? You're probably scared of me now. In the moment, I was hurt. I'm sure you had good reasons to act the way you did. If you want me to leave you alone, I will. I promise. You've got nothing to fear from me.
Leonie,
I've watered all the plants, so I'm done here. I'll get out of your way.
Wait!
Huh? Hey, what is it?
It's, I don't mean to bother you. I'm sorry for keeping you here.
No, not at all. Thanks for keeping me. Honestly, I've been worried about you. If you ever want to talk about anything, just say so. I'll make time.
I've been avoiding people for most of my life, so I'm not the best at speaking.
I know it's hard. You've been through a lot. But it's worth the extra effort to talk to your friends.
I make everyone uncomfortable. I just don't know how to carry on a conversation.
Hey, we're having one right now. And I'm telling you, I'm not uncomfortable. I'm actually really happy. So don't worry about me. And it's okay to be quiet sometimes, but try to find a middle ground at least. Otherwise, you'll never get any better.
Oh,
As far as what to talk about, anything's good. Hobbies, things you like, a dream you had last night. Really, anything.
okay then. I like this flower. I think it's nice.
I think so too. Did you know that where I come from, those have a completely different color?
Oh, really? I'd like to see that.
Great. Come visit my village someday. In fact, we should invite all of our friends. It'll be fun.
Oh, yes. That would be very exciting.
So hungry. I gotta eat something.
Again, Raphael? Here, perhaps this will suffice.
Really? I can have this? But don't you need to eat after all that training?
We can't have you starving, can we? Your strength is a great asset. It would be a terrible loss if you fell faint in battle. Besides, no true noble can look upon the hungry with indifference.
Seriously? Wow, that's awful generous of you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But listen while you eat. I believe it would benefit you to pay more attention to the way you carry yourself in the company of your betters. It is the duty of the nobility to protect the common folk. And, in return, the commoner is expected to show deference and respect. Naturally, I understand that there is a certain tendency toward familiarity because we are classmates. However...
Oh, that was tasty.
Raphael, did you hear a word I just said?
Oh, hey! I sent my little sis some of that fancy treat you gave me a while back. She wrote back to say that it was tasty and to thank you. So thanks.
That is excellent news. I'm pleased to hear that you both enjoyed it. But there's no need for you to thank me. It was actually a gesture of gratitude in the other direction, from me to you. Thanks to the wisdom of your words, I have begun to consider my approach to dining in a completely new way. Mealtime has proven to be ideal for the study of character. It is a tool I intend to make great use of as the leader of the Alliance.
Yep. It's just like I told you. Food tastes better when you eat with good company.
That's not quite what I meant. No matter. You are satisfied, I trust?
I could probably keep eating, but I'm ready to train. All right. Time to get back to it so I can protect my buddy Lawrence.
I've not quite gotten through to you, have I? It is not the duty of a commoner to protect a noble. That is fundamentally against the order of society.
But if you hadn't given me food just now, I couldn't have survived on the battlefield because I'd be too weak to train. Who'd take care of my little sis if I wasn't around? She'd probably end up starving to death as well. In a way, by feeding me, you're protecting her too.
It was only a little food. There's no need to get carried away.
You're a real decent noble, you know that? Worrying so much about my sister and all. All I gotta do is protect you, then you protect everyone else, right?
I'm not certain your logic is sound, but your strength is undeniable. Very well. Do as you like. Dining certainly is a window to the soul. Eating with you has helped me to see that I've misjudged you. You're not some gluttonous simpleton. You are grateful for the protection the nobility offers, and eager to emulate our example.
Marianne, please accept my apologies for my behavior yesterday.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Asking you about your family like that was pretty insensitive of me. No matter how curious I am, that's no way to treat someone. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. You weren't being insensitive. I just didn't want to talk about it. I don't spend much time talking about myself. Not to people, anyway.
If not people, then with who? Unpeople? Non-people?
Well, yes. I'm much more comfortable talking to anyone who isn't a person.
I was actually joking, but now I'm mystified. Who is it you like to talk to?
Dorte the horse.
Ah, of course. Good old Dorte. And does he understand what you tell him?
We understand each other. He tells me when he's sleepy, or when his stomach hurts, or if his nose itches.
Sounds like a complainer, that Dorte. But let's table this fascinating discussion for just a moment. Now that we've gotten in some small talk, I'd like to know what you're hiding. You are hiding something, right? Your lineage, perhaps?
No.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If it's all just idle gossip, that's fine too. But if it's something silly like, my ancestors were cursed, therefore I'm cursed, you should know that I won't accept that nonsense. That sort of thinking is stupid, and that's all there is to it. Say your ancestors were thieves. Does that make you a thief, even if you've never stolen a thing? Of course not.
But people have burdens to bear from the moment they're born. My burdens are so big that I'm sorry, I can't discuss this anymore.
People certainly are born with burdens. She's right about that. But Marianne, don't you know that you can choose not to carry them?
It didn't work. Odd. My logic was sound, or so I thought.
Ah, Lysithea, I've just happened upon some lovely tea leaves. Would you care to join me for a cup?
Nope. Busy.
While I admire your dedication to research, you simply must take breaks now and again for the sake of your health.
I am perfectly capable of knowing when to stop. I'm no child, I'll have you know.
Come now, take just a brief respite. Look, I've even brought snacks to go with the tea.
Ooh, that actually looks pretty tasty. All right, fine.
Well, what do you think? These are made especially for my house. I've loved them since I was a boy.
Oh, geez. Wow. Actually, this is delicious. You have excellent taste, Lawrence.
Have as much as you'd like. For the sake of our friendship, I consider it well worth the investment. I'd like to know more about you, Lysithea. Where did you learn such a command of magic? When you were a child, what kind of...
Come on. Can't we just enjoy the snacks? I loathe talking about myself.
Openness is a prerequisite to successful diplomacy. You'll learn that when you take your first real steps into high society.
Can you stop with the kid treatment? I mean, really, is age the only thing you consider when engaging with others?
But there's nothing the matter with being young. There is a role to be played at every stage in life. That is how we learn and grow.
Are you even listening? It's like you can't even help yourself but to continue treating me like a child.
I absolutely recognize your raw ability. You possess quite a rare gift for magic. I hope we can find a way for you to use that gift to help as many people as we can. Surely you can agree to that, at least.
You really are relentless. I'll spell this out for you once more. I don't care.
You're headstrong, just like me. That very quality will ensure a better future for Fodlan.
I, sir, am nothing like you. You're bullheaded and boorish, and utterly fixated on the future. All you care about is what's to come. Sure, it's all well and good to be thinking about such lofty things. However, for me, the future's a very long ways off. Better to focus on the present, on the here and now. Thanks for the tea.
Lysithea?
Who is it?
It's me, Raphael.
Oh, Raphael! I'll get the door. What are you up to?
Oh, whoa! What an enormous crate! And look what's in it. Crystal vials, shiny rocks.
And I got this too.
Oh, what a splendid flower. And so fresh. Hey, wait a second. Is that for your sister?
Yeah, I finally got my hands on something cute, just like you suggested.
That's so nice. But wait a second. Is this that flower from Fodlan's throat?
Of course. I had to run to make it back in time. It was a lot farther than I thought.
You ran all that way? And while we're on the topic, aren't these all Myron crystals? Such fine carvings on them. They must be the work of a true artisan. It couldn't have been easy getting your hands on these.
I figured I should follow your advice. You know more about what's stylish than I ever could.
Well done. I'm sure your sister will be pleased. All that's left is to make that necklace.
Yeah, about that. I don't know how to put it together. I've spent so long trying to figure it out that the flowers have started wilting. There are only a few nice ones left.
Huh. That's not good. I could try telling you how to make it, but you can't afford to lose any more flowers.
All right. Looks like it's Hilda to the rescue. I'll take it from here.
Seriously? You're really gonna help me?
Sure. I make myself things from time to time, and this is definitely easier than teaching you how. But you owe me for this. I expect to be paid back.
Don't you worry about that. I'll find something really nice to pay you back with.
It couldn't have been easy finding all these trinkets. He must really love his sister. Still, older brothers can be so dense.
Who's there? Oh, hey, Ignatz.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Relax. You're not interrupting.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were training out here.
I sometimes come here to practice by myself. It's more like a real battlefield, you know? Shooting the targets in the yard lets you train your aim and all, but the tension just isn't the same.
You're right. A real battlefield feels quite different. But if that's the atmosphere you want, I feel even more like I'm intruding.
Oh, knock it off. You're already here. May as well stick around while I catch my breath.
Ah, okay, sorry. Thank you. Sorry to bother you.
You know you've said you're sorry about a dozen times since you got here.
Oh, I'm so... Ah,
It's fine. I guess it's part of your charm. Hey, what's that bundle of papers? Oh, did you come here to paint? I remember now. Someone said you're a great artist. You paint a lot, right?
yes. Yes. When I have the time, that is. I enjoy painting. It helps me relax.
Oh, well, that could be your thing.
My thing? Huh? What do you mean?
Last time we talked about it, you said you didn't have a thing you were really amazing at. But if you like painting so much, it must be a skill you're looking to master.
My paintings are nothing but a hobby. Besides, I'm not that good. I never took art lessons. When I was little, I drew a picture for a young girl. The picture made her so happy that I decided to keep at it. That's how it started.
So you're practicing your art to make other people happy? Is that it?
Oh no, that's an overstatement. I must insist again, it's just a hobby. Even if I were to become a master artist, it wouldn't be a useful skill.
Aren't you from a merchant family employed by the nobles? I think it would be really useful there.
I'm not inheriting the business. My brother is. My father said that I'm to become a knight. So my art won't do anyone any good. At all. Ever.
Oh, Ignatz.
Picking wildflowers? Seems such a common activity for someone like you.
To me, the most beautiful flower is the one that blossoms by its own strength. Lysithea, please accept this as...
Knock it off! Sorry. It's just that the thorns are a bit sharp, and I'm not a fan of killing nature.
True sympathy, even for the smallest wildflower. I admire your kindness. When you inherit your house, that kindness will be a balm to your subjects. They and the neighboring lords will trust you instinctively.
Politics. Again.
The Alliance has been harmed in the past by lords who thought only of themselves, who saw others as a means to an end. But you understand others' pain. With you around, I am quite hopeful that the Alliance will flourish again.
That's not something you should get your hopes up about. House Ordelia will end with my father.
I'm sorry? I understand you have a distaste for politics, but could you really allow a noble house 3 centuries old to fall to ruin? This goes beyond you and even your house. What would become of Fodlan if all its noble houses withered away in such a manner? The people would be in disarray. The balance of power would crumble. Chaos would rule.
No, it's just... my body, unfortunately, is not built to last. And I have no siblings. When I die, that's the end.
What?
Noble birth has been nothing but a source of pain for me. For me, and for my parents. We got sucked into the rebellion in the Empire, and it led to many responsibilities for us. The things we went through. I can hardly bear to speak of it. All I want now is to give my mother and father the chance to live out their years in peace. I intend to do whatever I can to ease the hardships of our people, while I still have life left in me. Naturally, I worry about what will come to pass after I'm gone. But I'm sure things will work out, so long as there are people like you around working so hard for a better future.
So you have been thinking of the future, even despite all of that. I am so sorry. I had no idea. Lysithea, I have offended you most persistently. Please find it in your heart to forgive my impudence.
Don't worry about it. If you're so insistent upon being my friend, I'm sure more tasty snacks and tea will help persuade me. But if speaking of the future holds such importance, better to find someone who actually has one.
I understand. Yes, let's take tea together again soon.
Part 2. Verdant Wind. The unification of Fodlan.
Are you surprised, Professor? This is the Holy Tomb.
That mechanism for descending underground back there, what powers it? When I tried to come by myself, it wouldn't even budge.
This is where the goddess who created this world was laid to rest, along with her children. It is said that our creator, the goddess Sothis, sat upon this very throne. Professor, do you recognize this throne? So long. I have waited so very long for this day. Sit upon the throne. I have no doubt you will be gifted a revelation from the goddess. Well? It was supposed to be but a step away. What could possibly be missing?
Sorry to disturb you when you're distressed, Archbishop, but it seems some uninvited guests have arrived.
Don't move, any of you. If you move, your lives will be forfeit. Thank you ever so much for guiding us this far. The Imperial Army will now take possession of everything in the Holy Tomb.
The Imperial Army? What are they doing here?
So, they knew we were heading to the Holy Tomb and followed us here. Hey, who is that standing next to the angry guy? Could that be...
The Flame Emperor. I see. So you've been allied with the Empire from the beginning.
What are they doing here? What do they hope to gain?
There's only one goal for grave robbers like these. Right, Flame Emperor? You're here to steal the treasure that rests within the Holy Tomb.
For a fool you catch on quickly. Those crest stones will be ours. That infernal power, which is masquerading as a medicine but is truly a poison, will plague this world no longer.
Insolence! You will atone for the sin of trampling on this holy resting place. Professor, destroy these villainous traitors who dare dishonor our creator! I will not allow such violence from the Empire. Strike down the rebels and protect the Holy Tomb.
The crest stones are in the caskets! Open every last one of them!
The Holy Tomb must not be desecrated. Protect as many of the crest stones as you can.
I guess we're fighting over who gets those crest stones. What in the world do they intend to use them for anyway?
I'm told it's fine to kill those who resist. Now then, how shall I cook you? Torture them! It's over! Wait! No! I was just following orders! I just...
Hey, look at you! So you're the fabled Flame Emperor? Go ahead and enlighten me. What are you planning to do with the Crest Stones? What did you use Flame's blood for? Who's Kranya? Who's Solon?
Silence. There is no need for you to know.
Is it that mask that's to blame for your curtness? If so, maybe I should rip it off and ask again.
Pathetic. You are the one person I did not wish to make an enemy of.
Allow me to demonstrate.
So, the end has come.
Is this some sick joke? The Flame Emperor is actually Edelgard?
You have disappointed me, Edelgard. To think that a descendant of House Hresvelg would dare betray the Holy Church. Professor, kill Edelgard at once. She is a danger to all of Fodlan. Such a rebellious heart cannot be allowed to keep beating.
I have achieved my objective. I will retreat. Farewell, Professor. If we meet again, it will be on the battlefield. Come, Hubert.
To flee is futile, wicked girl. The Church of Seros will raise its entire army against you until you have been captured and punished. You have defiled the Holy Tomb, dishonored the goddess, and humiliated your brethren. That crime will never be erased. Even if you burn in the eternal flames and spill all of your blood into the goddess's soil. Come, Professor. Let us return and decide upon our next course of action.
I'm not exactly on friendly terms with the princess, but I do have a few questions for her. Edelgard said that the Crest Stones represent power. That means she knows how to use them. She almost certainly knows other secrets of Fodlan as well. Once things calm down a bit, there's a lot more that Rhea needs to tell us. I just hope there's still time. I have this strange feeling that history is being written, that an age of anarchy is upon us. Let's hope I'm mistaken.
Everybody here, young and old, is in your hands. No, I will not allow another Red Canyon tragedy to happen here.
What is going on?
What now?
won't you come?
In Imperial Year 1181, the new Adrestian Emperor, Edelgard von Hresvelg, led a strategic assault against the monastery at Garreg Mach. Though her own losses were great, her foes had no choice but to surrender. Archbishop Rhea commanded the Knights of Seros, leading from the front lines against the Imperial army. But amidst the chaos of battle, she vanished, and her whereabouts remain unknown. With this single attack, the Adrestian Empire officially launched its offensive against the Holy Kingdom of Fargus and the Leicester Alliance. The unification of Fodlan has begun.
Whew, I am stuffed. Even the most humble of meals taste great with the right company. By the way, Teach, do you remember the night before the ball? I know it was 5 years ago, but we promised that the Golden Deer House would reunite during the Millennium Festival. Today's the day we promised to meet up, but no one's here. True, there's still some daylight left. Let's wait just a little longer. You never know, maybe someone will show up after all. Hey, Teach, just waiting around sounds boring, so why don't we get in some exercise? You know, help with digestion and stuff. You must be in bad shape if you've been sleeping for 5 years. It'll do you good to get your body moving again. The thieves are here. Apparently they're trying to run off with treasures from the monastery.
What the? Intruders! Protect the goods!
This is gonna get expensive. Collect everything the thieves carried out.
It's time! Captain, allow me to demonstrate! Here is something to believe in! Let's try something.
The barbarity is even worse than the rumors. On my honor as a noble, I will expel these ruffians.
Today was supposed to be a happy day, but the monastery is in such disrepair.
Over there. Is that the professor? And the others?
Professor, you're alive! Guess we better handle this before I celebrate though, huh?
You finally made it. I suppose virtue still exists in this crazy world after all.
Is that the professor? And everyone else? If they're fighting, I gotta go help.
Wow, it's you! Here I thought you were dead all this time.
Could that be the professor's ghost?
Hey, you're late. Hurry up and help.
You should yield me a tidy profit.
Strategy in motion.
I thought it would be easy money. Maybe it wasn't meant to be.
We took care of that. Are you sufficiently warmed up, Teach?
I'm exhausted. What gives, Professor?
I was so excited to see everyone again, and then this happens.
I'm still tired from the long journey. How did it come to this?
Let's all take a moment to catch our breath.
If you've got the spare time to play with those guys, the least you could do is prepare some tea.
Come on, those guys were thieves. We couldn't just let them get away. It seems they've been taking advantage of the church's absence and doing whatever they please here.
In any case, I'm glad that all of you are well.
That's the spirit, Marianne.
That was fun. In fact, I wouldn't mind romping around some more.
So, you were alive this whole time, Professor. I am not surprised. In fact, that is why I came here.
And it doesn't look like time has rusted your skills. That's a relief.
I'm just glad everyone's alive and well. On that note, let's move this reunion party somewhere else. Now that we've dealt with those violent bandits, we could potentially use this place as our base of operations again.
What could you possibly mean by that?
I'm talking about the Leicester Alliance taking over Garreg-Mach Monastery. After all, it's right in the middle of Fodlan. It's a critical strategic location.
Are you suggesting that we fight back against the Empire?
Aren't you getting a bit ahead of yourself? The Alliance is in complete discord at present.
And, as leader of the Imperial faction of the Alliance, isn't Count Gloucester, your father, the main cause of that discord?
Yes, that is true. It was inevitable. Our house's territory is close to Imperial land, after all. Had we not consented to vassalage under the Empire, they would have invaded immediately.
Naturally. And to be clear, I have no problem with your house maintaining its Imperial ties until we're sufficiently prepared to revolt. The Empire is the cause of the infighting. If we rid ourselves of them, the situation should resolve itself. That's why I'm thinking we should make this our base, raise up an army, and stir up some trouble for the Empire.
Now you're talking. Sounds like fun.
So then, Mr. Leaderman, does this mean you intend to rope us into your little scheme?
My grandfather passed away. That means yours truly is officially the leader of the Alliance.
If we had a more reliable leader, perhaps the Alliance would not have been divided.
Think what you will. All I need to know is if you're in or you're out.
I'm happy to lend a hand. I won't let those Imperial dogs set foot in Alliance territory. I couldn't bear it if my village got caught up in the chaos of war.
I'll fight too. I've got to protect my little sis.
I will join as well. After all, House Ordelia was once dragged into an Imperial revolt. It ruined us.
Of course. I understand your motivation.
I'll fight too. It's time to take responsibility for my own future.
I don't want to run anymore. I hope I'll be of use to everyone.
We can do anything if we work together, Marianne.
What about you, Lawrence? Are you going to go back home to your scary father or what?
We cannot rely on Claude's scheming to lead us to victory. Therefore, I will remain. It is my duty to ensure Claude does not worsen the situation in the Alliance.
All of us are fighting for a different reason, but we share a common enemy. If we don't act, the Empire will crush us eventually. I say we stop them before they have the chance. So, Teach, will you help as well? All the more reason to join us. Admit it, you're not going to be able to do much on your own. With you on our side, the Church will join us as well. That makes fighting the Empire a moral cause, which means it'll be easier to rally support. Above all, your knowledge and strength are indispensable if we hope to stand a chance against the Imperial army. Without you, my schemes are nothing. Just words. Please, take all of that into consideration as you decide.
You're really laying it all on the table, aren't you, Claude? Well, all that aside, this place is a mess. We can't very well make our base in a ruin. And repairing it sounds like a lot of work. I wonder if anyone would be willing to help us out with that.
Can it be? You were alive all this time?
Professor, it is so good to see you again. My brother and I were worried about you.
Oh, thank the goddess. I couldn't bear the thought of letting Gerald down by not finding you.
Guess you lucked out. We've been looking everywhere for you. But I see Lady Rhea isn't with you. Damn.
Everyone was real worried about you, Professor.
Cyril? Is that you? You've grown up, kid. Have you been looking for Rhea with the Knights?
Of course, without Lady Rhea, I don't belong anywhere.
Cyril, that's not... Never mind. We'll figure it all out.
Oh my. The Golden Deer House is together again at last. And all grown up. Well, for the most part.
I do regret that we were never able to hold a proper graduation for all of you students.
It has been 5 years since Lady Rhea disappeared. We have devoted all of our energies to finding her. However, without being able to set foot in Empire territory, we are at a standstill. We had hoped that perhaps the Archbishop would return here on this day. That of the long-awaited Millennium Festival.
Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case, though I don't suppose you had very high hopes in that regard. Even if she were able to return here, with the monastery in ruins, I don't think she would have felt safe enough to do so. Right, Hilda?
Yeah! This is an important location for the church. To think you've left it in such a state.
That's true. Perhaps we've left it alone for too long. We've got to make things right.
I can clean this place up like new. It's not fit for Lady Rhea like this.
And leaving this place in ruins affects the safety of this area, too.
Agreed. There is also a great deal of valuable literature here.
Then let's do it. If we all work together, we can restore the monastery to its original beauty.
We will require the aid of skilled craftsmen, too. I shall seek out any such individuals who are willing to return to Garrick Mach.
Fantastic! I'll figure out how to split up the work, and then we can get started.
Good work, Hilda. You didn't do much manual labor, but you managed to rope the Knights into helping us restore the monastery.
Thanks, Claude. But all I did was piggyback on your scheme. I saw your eyes telling me to make some magic happen.
Thank you so much for your help with the restoration.
Oh, please, it was nothing. We're just doing our part as former students.
I'm told you even routed the bandits. That job should have fallen to us. I'm sorry for the trouble.
Hey, don't think twice about it. We're all allies in the resistance against the Empire, right?
The Church is at war with the Empire, but let's be realistic. Wouldn't it be better for the Alliance to eventually submit?
The way I see it, the Emperor wants to take over all of Fodlan and destroy the existing order of the world. I can't see her allowing the Alliance to continue to exist. We're in this just as deeply as you are. Actually, we were hoping to use this place as a base. The Empire begs to be meddled with, and we're first in line.
What? Why would you want to make your base here of all places?
Garrick Mach is situated in the center of Fodlan, both geographically and spiritually. We want to secure this location while the Empire is still overlooking it.
I see. The Empire doesn't see this place as important at the moment because it's far from the front lines.
But if we simply decide that it's ours to occupy, that does nothing to inspire the hearts and minds of the people of Fodlan. Luckily, good old Teach has finally returned to us. If the Professor Rhea entrusted with the Sword of the Creator fights at our side, well now, that's a just cause anyone could get behind. What's more, here we are, working alongside the legendary Knights of Seiros. It smacks of divine providence, doesn't it? Can you feel it?
I have heard what you have to say, Claude. And you, Professor? Where do you stand? On our own, we lack sufficient military strength. But with the help of the Alliance, the Archbishop said if anything should happen to her, that we should entrust the affairs of the Church to you. If you intend to fight alongside the Alliance, then I will follow you as well. Is that acceptable, Claude?
Of course. I can't think of anything more reassuring than having both Teach and the Knights on our side. Together, we'll stop the Emperor and her reckless ambitions. The earth nurtures the trees, and the trees bear fruit. It's the earth itself that gives us all life. Oh, Fodlan, land of plenty. bless us with the gift of delicious food.
What are you doing?
Oh, it's just you, Lawrence.
I was disturbed by your ridiculous blather. Must you recite it quite so loudly? And can you even call that nonsense poetry when it is utterly ignorant of rhyme and meter?
Ouch! You don't hold back, do you? I didn't know you were so particular about poetry. Ha! Maybe you have a secret poetry collection of your own hidden somewhere.
That's absurd! Where did you hear that? And just what was that poem about? It seemed to me that you were praising the land. But is it not the goddess who nurtures the land? Should your praise not go to her instead?
Of course you zero in on that detail. You really are a Fodlan noble through and through.
Certainly. Aren't you?
I'm not quite the same, no. Though noble blood flows within me, it can't change who I am at heart.
Pardon? I think you had best clarify.
Listen, Lawrence, you had ambitions of becoming the Alliance's ruler, didn't you? Would you like to try that for real? If you really want it, I wouldn't mind giving up my position.
What's this all of a sudden? That is not an offer to be made in jest.
I'm not joking around. I've been thinking it for a while now. I originally thought you were like a fox drawn in by the deer of the Alliance. But I was wrong. You're no thoughtless predator. You're trying to properly train the deer around you. Isn't that right?
That is my intention. But the ambition is insufficient. To rule well, a certain temperament is required. When we first met, I mistrusted you a great deal, and on my father's advice, I observed you closely. That is why I can say this for certain. You possess the qualities necessary to govern.
A compliment? From you? That's about as rare as a deer standing on its hind legs and doing a jig.
Merely a statement of fact, one that is quite relevant to the future of the Alliance.
The future of the Alliance, huh? You really are devoted to your cause.
Depending on your actions, I may yet see fit to seize your position for myself. Bear that in mind.
I welcome the idea. It means I can feel safe vanishing whenever I see fit.
Vanishing? Do not tell me you intend to die in this conflict. You cannot shape the future if you do not live to see it.
Ha! First you compliment me, and now you're worrying about me? What have you done with the real Lawrence? No, I'm not going to die. I'm tougher than I look. Besides, this war isn't just for the Alliance anymore. It's going to decide the fate of all Fodlan. It would be cruel to leave you with the burden of uniting all of Fodlan by yourself, don't you think?
Burden? Please. If there were none other suitable, I would gladly become a king. Or even an emperor.
Well, well. I guess I shouldn't take Lawrence of the famous House Gloucester so lightly. Really, though. Don't you go dying on me either, Lawrence. We're going to need men like you in the age to come.
The same to you, Claude. A world without you would be ever so dull.
Hey, Raphael. Reading a letter?
Well, if it isn't old Ignatz. I got a message here from my sis.
Oh, a letter from Maya. I haven't seen her in so long. I bet she's all grown up.
Nah, she's still a shrimp. It's been a while since I saw her. But she's probably only up to your shoulders.
Wow. I can't believe she's gotten that tall.
I wrote to tell her about how we're friends again. Do you remember this?
Is that the picture I drew for her?
She sent it along with the letter. I guess she held on to it since we were kids. All right, that's enough looking. She said to show it to you and send it right back.
To think she's handling my little doodle with such reverence. It warms my heart. I remember the day I gave Maya that drawing. She looked so happy. Before then, I never knew I could make people happy with art. It was a revelation. I've been drawing and painting ever since, in hopes of becoming an artist one day.
You're much better now, so it must be paying off. I bet you could be a real artist.
No, that's not possible, I'm afraid. I have to consider my parents' wishes.
Who cares what your parents want? It's not like you're a noble or nothing. Your fate is your own.
Huh. You think so?
I know so. And I'm gonna support you with whatever dream you got. Okay, let me see. What's the first step to follow your dreams? Oh, got it. You should paint me.
Paint you?
Yeah, I want my little sis to know how good I'm doing here, so I gotta send her proof. Plus, she'll be doubly impressed if it's a painting you made.
Good point. I can certainly try to capture your likeness. I'll paint you with a warm, cheerful expression on your face to bring Maya comfort.
My face? No way! You gotta get my muscles in there. Mostly my chest and arms.
Are you sure that's what she'd want to see?
Wait! Before you start painting, I gotta get me a little more training in. If my muscles aren't bulging, then what's the point?
I'm not sure about this.
Hilda? I wanted to thank you for helping me in the infirmary. I brought you these pastries.
Ooh, thanks. I'll put some tea on. Have a seat.
That sounds lovely. But I also wanted to apologize for always causing you such trouble.
It's no trouble. No trouble at all. Everything tastes better with friends, don't you think? I give you help, you give me sweets, we have a little tea party. It's a good arrangement, I'd say. I'm used to it now, so if it changed suddenly, I would feel disoriented.
I suppose if you're enjoying yourself, then it can't be that bad.
Sure. You don't seem to mind listening while I gab, so I'm enjoying myself plenty. But do let me know if I'm too boring.
No, you're not boring at all. In fact, you're, very good at talking. You're also good with your hands. You can clean and organize better than almost anyone. I envy you.
Oh, stop. I'm blushing. I'm not as great as all that. We're both a lot different on the inside than we look on the outside, don't you think?
How do you mean?
People who see you think you're so proper, but you're actually clumsy. That's why I help you, because there are some things you just can't do.
I'm sorry you always have to clean up after me.
I didn't say I hated it. In fact, you've taught me a few new techniques I can use to persuade people. Maybe I'll start imitating you a little bit. I'll do the Marianne. That sheepish, sorry, and those quavering downcast eyes. But that might not work as well for me. People would probably assume that I'd hit my head.
Oh, well...
Aw, Marianne laughing at me. So rude and yet so adorable.
I'm so sorry. I just can't help it. When I imagine you doing those things,
Yeah. It's rather un-Hilda-like, I'll admit. Okay, that's enough laughing.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, are you all right? That tea's hot, Marianne. Be careful.
Yes. Oh, ouch, hot.
Come on, what did I just say?
I know, I'm sorry. Ow, hot.
Oh boy, a real steady hand, that Marianne. It's nice to see her laugh. Sure, she was laughing at me, but how can I get mad when she looks so dang cute?
Hey, got a minute?
Leone, are we to sharpen swords again?
No, I came to give you this handkerchief back. Sorry, I know I held on to it for a while. You lent me this. Remember?
I recall giving it to you. It is a noble's duty to give to the common folk. In return, the commoner need only pay respect.
That's nice. You left out the part where the nobles take all the stuff the regular folks make?
Yes, the common folk give the fruits of their labor, willingly, I might add, as a token of that respect. The head of San village offers his tribute in exactly that spirit, you know.
San? That's my village. You knew?
Of course. We granted exclusive hunting rights to San and forbade outsiders from poaching. In fact, when we received complaints about just that, we hired mercenaries to deal with the issue.
So that's what brought Gerald.
What was that?
Nothing. Look, just take the handkerchief. I'm returning something I borrowed from a friend.
Very well. As your friend, I will accept it.
You know, I really wish you wouldn't think of nobles as always giving and commoners as only receiving. Friends help each other, without thinking about status. And that help goes both ways.
Quite so. And when I require the aid of a friend, I assure you I will happily recognize it. But only with friends. In the main, I must continue to refuse assistance from the common folk. For a noble to accept would be disgraceful.
Huh. I always thought he was just stuck up. Turns out, he just has this grand idea of nobility he's trying to live up to. Oh no! I didn't even give him the handkerchief!
Strategically speaking, if I poised an archer to lie in wait here, and then lured the enemy in over here...
Lysithea, are you up late studying again?
I am, but I don't see how it's any of your business.
Look, you don't need to work yourself so hard. You're already as skilled as they come. There aren't many people out there who can match you. Everyone knows that.
I apologize for my sharpness. I just feel pressured.
Why would you, of all people, feel pressured?
I place a lot of personal pressure on myself. I need to become as strong as possible to put my parents at ease.
When I met with Count Ordelia before, he said you were his pride and joy. But he also said his only concern was that you might be pushing yourself too hard. If you really want to make your parents happy, surely you should start by taking care of yourself.
That's true.
Then it's settled. Get some rest. Save your energy for tomorrow's battle.
You really are very mature, Claude, despite the impression you give off. And I clearly have plenty of growing to do. I probably don't have much room to come down on you for harping on me.
Oh, really? Does that mean you won't get mad if I treat you like a child from now on?
That is absolutely not what I said. Just after you finally earned a small degree of respect from me, too.
Hey, just think about it for a second. You're the only one in the world I treat like this. That means you're a pretty special person to me.
You think I'm special?
Take it however you like. Or maybe the thought is too much for a kiddo like you.
How dare you!
God, don't do anything you might regret. I don't want to be turned to dust.
I'm feeling generous, so I'll let you off easy this one time.
Well, that's good of you. All joking aside, go get yourself some shut-eye, okay? After all, if you don't hurry up, the boogeyman might come out and eat you!
All right, buddy, you asked for it!
Hey, writing to your sister again?
You bet! Gotta reply to these things as soon as they come in.
You had one last week, too. It's great to see you're both so good about staying in touch. It's especially important when there's a war going on.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. My sister wrote to say how much she loved the painting supplies you sent.
Good. I'm glad gathering those pigments paid off.
You even made her a brush. I really appreciate you doing all that for her.
I was fascinated with painting at that age. I was a pretty artistic kid, if you can believe it. Not a lot of time for it when you're hungry, though.
Sounds like you had a pretty tough time growing up, too, huh?
I guess so. We never thought of it that way. But it's true the children in my village don't usually get to choose their futures. Any one of us could have had the talent for artistic genius and never even noticed. I was one of the lucky ones. I only got to follow my passion thanks to my father and all the other folks. That's why, once I come into my own, the first thing I'll do is head back there and help the other kids.
Oh, wow. It's like all the kids in your village are counting on you.
No need to exaggerate it. Besides, it's not like I'm unique. You're working hard for your sister's future, aren't you?
Yeah. Like me and you are both carrying big weights. We should try sharing the weight with each other. You know, lighten both of our loads.
Huh?
If we share our problems, then we only gotta carry half the weight, right? It works out for everybody.
It's probably a good thing you didn't try to take on your family's business. If you take half of my burden and I take half of yours, the total's still the same.
Nah, that doesn't sound right. Everything's lighter when you don't gotta carry it alone.
On second thought, you might be right. With the right attitude and the right partner to share the burden, maybe it is only half the weight.
Now you're getting it! It's a waste of energy to struggle alone when there's someone who can help you.
That's true. And I do hate waste, as you well know. So when it comes to working toward the future you're after, you know I won't fall short.
Great! And you should never fall short on sharing a big meal with me, too!
Deal.
Oof. Capsized the teapot. Tea leaves on the carpet. This'll be fun to clean up.
Hey, Hilda. Is something wrong?
Ignatz. I accidentally knocked over my teapot. I'd drunk all the tea already, thank the goddess, but the tea leaves went right into the carpet.
Oh, that's a mess. Here, let me help. I can leave stains if you're not careful.
But don't you have somewhere to be?
Oh no, don't worry. I'm on a break.
What's that in your hands? Oh, painting supplies. You were gonna go do some painting, weren't you?
Ah, yes. The weather's quite splendid, and I found a place where some gorgeous flowers are blooming. But the flowers aren't going anywhere this second. Let's clean this up.
Okay. Thanks, Ignatz, and sorry to keep you away from your painting.
That's okay. It didn't stain, at least. We picked all the leaves out of the carpet.
Still going painting? Or is it too late in the day?
No, I think time-wise it'll be fine. If you're not doing anything, Hilda, would you care to join me? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Forget what I said. I'm sure you're busy anyway.
You didn't let me say anything.
Well, no, but you didn't reply, so I thought you didn't want to.
I never said I didn't want to. I was just surprised. I'd love to see those pretty flowers you mentioned. I'm glad you invited me.
Oh, that's good. Wait, you're glad?
Of course I am. I like being invited to things, silly.
Right, of course. It's affirming.
Yeah, exactly. See? You get it. So there's no need to worry that an invitation is burdening someone. It feels good to be asked.
Of course. Well then, in addition to seeing the flowers with me, would you like to help with my painting?
I wouldn't want to screw up your opus. I'm not much of a painter.
No, I meant that I'd like to paint you, with the flowers all around you. Oh, that's too much, isn't it? Forget I said anything.
Silly, you didn't even let me answer. But you're right, I'm not up for that.
I'm sorry,
I'm not up for that, unless your painting of me will look really, really cute. Can you make that happen?
Huh? Yes, of course. I'll paint you cute as a button.
Good. Shouldn't be too hard. I can feel a very cute smile coming on.
Ah, Marianne, I've been meaning to thank you. The books that you lent me have proved most fascinating. Would you permit me to offer you tea as a token of my gratitude?
I'm a little busy right now. Maybe later tonight?
Of course. I will look forward to it.
Thank you for inviting me over.
Certainly. Thank you for coming. Oh, and please, relax. This is no formal occasion.
Oh, this tea tastes so good.
Doesn't it just? Oh, this is my absolute favorite. I'm pleased you like it. This pastry may suit your palate also. It is commonly paired with this tea in my homeland.
Ah, it's sweet. It complements the astringency of the tea.
You have exquisite taste, and there is plenty more where that came from. We simply must do this again.
You want to spend more time with me?
Naturally.
Well, actually, there's something I need to say.
Yes? What is it?
I've been keeping this from you for a while. It's about my crest. It's just terrible.
Please, that's quite enough.
Oh.
You're trembling. If uttering this secret hurts you, then I have no desire to hear it.
It's just...
Your smile is a greater gift to me than any truth. Whatever you have hitherto concealed, I am certain it is essential to you, and I do wish to know it. But not until the day arrives when you can tell me with a smile on your face. I am not the sort of man to prize my own knowledge over others' happiness, you know. Besides, the mystery is part of your charm.
You're funny, Lawrence.
There, that's what I mean. Your beauty has always captivated, but that smile truly warms my heart.
This is the first time I've smiled in so long, and I have your kindness to thank for that.
As I've said, you are perfect just as you are. But I suppose I can take a little credit. Yes, your radiant smile shall illuminate all the world. With me by your side, you will not be able to help it.
I'm looking forward to that.
Well, we've got another battle coming up. What do you think of our chances?
Winning is always the goal. At any rate, I've done everything I can to prepare.
That's the right attitude. I'm sure they're doing all they can on their side, too.
I don't doubt it, but however strong they are, it's no more than a Fodlan concern. Who knows how far this world extends beyond the boundaries of Fodlan? Talk of strength or weakness doesn't amount to much when it's only in relation to a tiny corner of the world.
Guess you're right. Thinking about it like that, even this war seems like a storm in a teacup.
Exactly. It's nothing more than an internal quarrel amongst the people of Fodlan.
Typical laid-back Claude. I always like talking to you. Your perspective on the world is so refreshing. Things I thought were obvious turn out not to be.
The way you think, that changes the way you see things. Common sense never tells the whole story. It's similar to what we were talking about before, about how you need to doubt yourself first.
True enough, but where did you get these ideas? That perspective of looking past the walls of Fodlan, when it's all we can see in front of us.
Do you really want to know?
I do.
But I'm afraid now isn't the time. When this war is won, I'll tell you all about it. It'll be easier for me to show you than to tell you.
Show me. Are we going somewhere?
It's quite a distance. You'll start to appreciate how big the world is if you go.
Sounds eye-opening. I'll look forward to it. Can we call it a promise?
Yes, it's a promise. But first, let's win this war and leave it far behind us.
Huh. What's that about? Marianne, I saw you on the training grounds earlier. It looked like there was an argument.
Oh, no. It was nothing.
Are you sure? Nothing happened at this morning's training?
Well...
Okay, tell me what happened.
I just couldn't keep up with the rest of the group. Everyone got so mad at me. They said something about looking into their eyes so I could read their movements, but I couldn't do it.
They may have a point.
I'm a hindrance to everyone. I can't do it.
Of course not. That goes without saying. It's hard to accomplish anything on your own. Look at me. By myself, I'm worse than useless. Can you see where I'm going with this? To succeed, you have to cooperate. You can't do that if you're not paying attention to nonverbal cues.
Huh?
Please, try looking up. Looking people in the eye. You'll see some things that you've never seen before. People worry about you, and rely on you. You'll see that on your allies' faces. In a way, you'll see what they're thinking.
You may be right. It was my fault for looking down. Thank you, Ignatz. I appreciate your encouragement.
Of course. Look, we both saw the sunset and appreciated its beauty. Nature communicates without words. We can do the same. We don't need to speak to be understood. Stop staring at your feet. Look at us. That'll be a good start.
I can certainly try.
Huh.
Is something wrong? Did I say something to upset you?
Oh no, to the contrary. I just realized that I was missing something. A thing of remarkable beauty. Right under my nose.
Remarkable beauty?
What? Don't mind me.
Where is that darn ladder?
Need help with something, Lysithia?
I can't find the ladder anywhere, and I needed to check out the books up on that top shelf.
Want me to just grab one for you?
No. I need to be able to dig around myself.
No problem. You could sit on my shoulders instead. Up you go.
Hang on a sec. That's not... I hope nobody saw that. Anyway, thank you. That was helpful. I can't believe how many fantastic books were hidden just out of reach up there. Thanks for being so patient while I rummaged.
No problem at all. It was my pleasure.
Hey, Raphael. You're always extra nice to me. Is it because I remind you of your sister Maya?
Yeah, I can't help but think about her whenever I see you around. We lost our parents when she was still real little, so she never had adults around to do stuff for her. That's probably why she grew up to be the kind of kid who wants to do everything on her own.
That's certainly something I can relate to.
I keep telling her that it's okay to rely on her big bro a little bit. Like, when there's stuff she can't do because she's too small, she just needs to ask someone bigger to do it. I told her that she could help me when I'm having trouble with stuff too. Then we would be even.
Young or old, we can all help one another out. We each have our strengths and weaknesses. Receiving help and providing help in return. It sounds so simple, really.
It is simple! I knew you'd get it.
I do. And I hope you understand that you can come to me for help too, Raphael. I can't be the only one receiving aid. It makes me feel incompetent and like a kid. I hate that.
Alright then. You can help me clean up my room.
I bet it's a disaster knowing you. I'll help you on that front, but I've got some rules on how to keep things tidy. You'll need to listen up.
If you could help with the actual tidying, that would probably be better. No need to bother with rules. I don't really do so good with remembering the complicated stuff. Oh! I got an idea! It would be even better if you could just come by and tidy up from now on! If you keep helping me, then I can help you whenever you need it. No guilt.
Whenever I need it, huh? How long does that offer hold?
From now on. Like for always. I don't know what's so difficult to understand.
For always sounds nice. I'm fine with that.
Oh, do you have an itch back there? I guess you can't scratch it on your own, can you?
Hi, Marianne.
Oh, Claude. It's just you.
Sorry, I know you're in the middle of an important discussion with Dorte, but could I talk to you?
About what?
It's about this thing you think you're burdened with. I've tried to guess what it is.
Please don't. This is making me a little uncomfortable.
There's no reason to feel uncomfortable. It's not like I plan on saying it aloud. But if my guess is correct, there's something I want to tell you. Will you hear me out?
Fine. I will listen.
Once upon a time, in a faraway place.
What the... Are you telling me a story?
Just listen. Once upon a time, in a faraway place, there was a young boy. This boy came from a despised lineage. In short, his mother was a daughter of the enemy. So the young boy was treated horribly by everyone around him. He hadn't done anything wrong. Everyone hated him simply for existing. Yelling, fighting back, explaining himself. Nothing he did could change his situation. When he was finally old enough, he ran far away from home. He escaped.
It sounds to me like he had no choice. I would have done the same had it been me.
Thing is, after he ran away, he still found himself in the very same position. People in the outside world hated him for where he came from.
Well, now that's...
The boy thought he had no place to go. All he could do was destroy the boundary between the inside and the outside worlds.
Destroy the boundaries?
Right. If there was no outside and inside, just one side to share, then the people outside wouldn't have a reason to hate him anymore, right? It wouldn't be easy, but if he managed it, he could shrug off that burden. The point is, people are born with burdens to carry. That much is undeniable. But whether they bind us or we cast them aside, that's up to us. So I think you should try to cast yours aside, Marianne. Put that heavy burden down. It's time.
But I don't know if I can do it.
It's okay. I'm here for you. We're the same, and I can help you.
The same? Claude, we have nothing in common.
Hey, did you see that, Dorte? Your friend just smiled at me.
Thank you for sharing your story. I suppose I could try casting aside burden, as you say. We can try together.
Let's do that. And when we're free, we can change the whole world.
Raphael. I finally finished that necklace for you. Here you go.
Huh? Oh! Whoa! This is incredible! And so shiny. You're like an artist, Hilda. How'd you do this?
Just like I told you. I put the flowers and the shiny rocks in a bottle, and then poured in some resin to preserve everything. I thought the flowers you had were looking a little pathetic, so I added a few of my own. It was hard work, making sure the flowers and the stones were spread evenly, getting rid of the air bubbles.
What's this? The part you hang around your neck? I thought you used the one I gave you.
Oh yeah, no, that's a cord I braided. I was going to use metal, but some people are allergic to metal, so I figured better safe than sorry. Anyway, you didn't give me much to work with, and look what I pulled off. I am a miracle worker.
It's gorgeous! Beautiful! I've never seen anything like it. Thank you, Hilda.
Whoa, hold up! What's with the blubbering?
It's just... I bet my sister never got anything so pretty in her whole life. She's had to deal with so much because of me. I never got her anything this nice and cute before. She's gonna love it and be so happy.
Okay. Yes, okay, that's enough. Come on, you're embarrassing me here. If you're really that happy, I'm glad I put some effort into something for once.
Don't you always put effort into things?
That's sweet of you, but no, I don't want to put in effort and then disappoint people. It's dispiriting, not to mention tiring.
But what if they're not disappointed? Then they'd feel great, and you'd feel great too.
Yeah, you have a point there. I guess I'm realizing that now. You know, thanks to you, I'm starting to see things from my brother's perspective.
What do you mean? Do you have a big bro too?
I do. I've always thought of him as an overprotective nuisance, but now I feel thankful. Looking at you, I couldn't help but think, sometimes big brothers are okay.
I didn't do anything special though. It's natural for a big bro to look after his little sis. Oh, that reminds me. I still haven't found anything special enough to repay you for the necklace. I got an idea though. How about I help you make a tough-looking necklace for your big bro?
No need. I have a better idea. When the wars simmer down, why don't you and your sister come visit me?
Really? That's it?
Yeah, I want to make sure it suits her. And then I can adjust the cord if I need to.
Of course we'll come visit. I told my sis all about you, and she already wants to meet you.
Well, good. I look forward to it. In the meantime, hold me close to your heart.
What?
That's what the necklace would say if it could talk. Hold me close to your heart.
Ah, Leonie. Off to train?
Already done. What about you? Off to draw?
No, I'm on my way back. I was thinking of adding a little color to my latest piece, so...
Come to think of it, I've still never seen your work. Here, let me take a peek.
It doesn't work like that. You have to let me know in advance. I need time to prepare.
Lighten up. Wow, look at all that paper. Are these all drawings? What should I look at first?
Wherever we travel, I try to capture the feeling and character of the landscape. I guess they've all kind of piled up. Each place is unique. Not just the geography, but also the clothing and architecture and so on. Everywhere has its own design sensibilities.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be only one way to do stuff like engraving, but it actually varies a lot.
Just within the Alliance, the styles are quite different between the North and South, and the Empire's even more diverse.
Oh, here's a landscape. What a bright blue sky. You really make it seem alive.
The blue of the sky changes with the season too. In the summer, it's darker, and yet in the winter, it's almost luminous. And, of course, the landscape below affects the sky's appearance by virtue of contrast. It's hard to get the color just right, so I spend a lot of time experimenting with pigments and... Oh no, I'm so sorry, I've been talking your ear off.
Listen, Ignatz.
You need to become a painter.
Huh?
Don't say it's not useful. Your talent moves people. Someday, I'm sure your art will save someone's life.
Oh no, I wouldn't go nearly that far.
Remember that girl you told me about? You made her so happy, and you were only just starting out. Think about what you could do now that you've had so much practice. This is your calling.
You think so?
Yeah, it's something you can do that no one else can. I envy you. I wish I had a gift like that. So stop apologizing for your talent and just do it.
Thank you, Leonie. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a lot to think about.
Lysithea, it's no good for you to expose yourself to such strong sunlight, and a chill could steal upon you at any moment. You really ought to have worn a mantle. You have been running yourself absolutely ragged. Would you please consider taking some rest?
Enough is enough. I am fully aware. Now, stop following me.
I'm only concerned for your health.
That's great and all, but I feel fine today, and I'm perfectly capable of caring for myself. I don't have time to take a rest. I'm overloaded with work, and I have less time than everyone else. I just want to do my own thing. Bring order to the Alliance, and put my parents' minds at ease.
No need to rush. How can you be so certain your lifespan is shortened anyway? I do not know who decided that, but consider me skeptical. If you are healthy now, and if you take proper care of yourself, you ought to live just as long as anyone else.
That's all well and good, but those vitamin-packed sweets you brought tasted weird.
If you want a healthy body, then you need to start with what you eat.
You have a point, but those health sweets are gross.
I sent for the finest in wholesome, healthy treats for you. I asked only for the very sweetest.
That was pretty nice of you. I'm sorry, Lawrence. Thank you for being so thoughtful. Still, I don't need bushels and bushels of them. Gaining a ton of weight won't exactly lengthen my lifespan either. I mean, I like to be able to hang out with you as much as possible, and for as long as possible.
Truly? Oh, I'm so glad. I feel the same. Even in an otherwise perfect future, I still cannot see a happy life for myself without you in it. In fact, the more time we spend together, the more essential to me you become. So let us walk, side by side, toward a future together.
Yikes! Keep it down, will you?
Why are you flustered? What is there to be embarrassed about? You know I will always care for you.
Okay, noted. Will you just calm down already?
You need not worry about a thing. I will look after you no matter what may come. After all, the future of Fodlan rests upon my shoulders, does it not?
I won't give up on myself either. Thanks for caring, Lawrence.
Marianne! Come here, quick!
Oh, what's wrong, Raphael?
It's that bird you were talking to! I just found him! See? Right there on the lower branch. That's gotta be him. But he looks a little sad for some reason.
You're right. Do you mind if I handle this? Hello there, Mr. Bird. How do you do? Yes, I see. I see. So your food supply is...
Food? I got it!
I completely understand. I have seen more people and birds foraging for berries lately. It would be ideal if those berries were growing in another forest nearby. Then you wouldn't have to.
Are you hungry, Mr. Bird? I got just what you need.
Are those bugs? Yuck!
Look at him go. He's loving it. He's gonna get so big and strong after this.
That was... disgusting. But how did you know he was hungry?
I could tell by looking at him. He looked hungry and weak. More importantly, I saw what you did. That bird wasn't speaking human, so you gotta understand birdese. I knew it!
Oh, about that. I'm sorry, Raphael, but I need to tell you the truth. I can sort of understand what animals are thinking when I look at them, but I can't speak to them. I'm sorry for leading you on.
Oh, I see. What about me then? Can you tell what I'm thinking when you look at me?
No, Raphael. I can't.
Well, of course not. You're not even looking at me. You gotta look at my eyes.
Nope, still can't do it.
I guess I just gotta tell you. I'm thinking it would be nice if you talked to me the way you talk to animals.
What do you mean?
Whenever you talk to animals, you seem happy and friendly. I just wish you'd talk to me like that too.
I'm so sorry, Raphael. I didn't know.
What if I try this? Cheep cheep cheery choo choo doo!
What the?
Whoa! I've never heard you laugh before. I should have talked to you in birdese sooner. Cheep chirra cheep woo teedledee!
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that one.
I said you gotta eat bugs to grow big and strong, just like Mr. Bird.
I think I'll have to pass.
Hey,
Oh, Lysithia. Something I can do for you?
can you help me out with my shopping?
Yes, of course. You need me to carry stuff?
Actually, can you pick up some tea for me? I'd do it, but I'm drowning in work.
You're so busy you can't go shopping. Okay. Do you have a favorite kind of tea?
I'm not too picky. I just like having it around, really. Whatever's cheapest works for me. Here's some money.
One question. Why me? You don't really need my help for this.
I just thought I could lean on you a bit. You know, rather than trying to do everything on my own.
Right, I see. Well, good. I'm glad you decided to approach me. But for this particular task, you might be better off doing it yourself.
Oh?
There are so many different kinds of tea, and I'm not very discerning. What if I get you one you don't like? When I do my own shopping, I pick a tea at random. Otherwise, I'd be paralyzed by all the choices. It's the same with food. Sometimes I stare and stare at the options and never decide.
You look like you were doing just fine when you went to get groceries the other day.
I really had to push myself to do that alone. I don't think I can do that again. Sorry.
Uh-huh. So, you've stopped trying to do things on your own, then?
Yeah. Still, though. For today, how about you have some of my tea? If that'll do.
Sounds nice, sure. Do you mind brewing mine while you're at it?
Okay. Though I can't do it as skillfully as Lawrence, I'm afraid. I'll get it ready right away. Feel free to start focusing on your work. What?
I mean, you seem plenty reliable to me.
I do. Really? How so?
You're fun, you're easy to be around, and you rarely complain when you help others.
Well, I'm just pouring you some tea. I'm not sure that qualifies as help.
It's not easy for me to rely on people, but with you, it's different.
Well, there aren't many things I can do, frankly. What I can do, I will do. So if you need anything, ask me, and I'll try to help.
You really are unreliable, as it turns out. Guess I'll just have to take your word for it.
It's only a scratch, Leonie. I'm all right.
One mistake like that in battle and you're done. This is your weapon hand, isn't it? Let me stop the blood.
Apologies for the trouble.
No trouble. And no apologies. Thanks is what you say when a friend helps you out. Darn.
What's wrong?
I need a bandage to stop the bleeding, but this is all I've got.
My handkerchief.
I was only carrying it around to give back to you anyway. Mind if I use it for this?
Very well. I suppose that's fitting in a way.
I guess so. Not that I'm happy you're bleeding. I'm glad you'll accept it, though. In the past, you might have refused it.
Yes. I might have made it an issue of commoners giving aid to the nobility or some such.
I didn't understand why you were so strict about it, but I think I kind of get it now. You know, if every noble were like you, the world would be a better place.
Perhaps, but you were right. Many great deeds are accomplished by friends working together, especially when those friends are as capable as you.
Me?
I hope this is not the first time I have told you this, Leonie, but you are an exceptional individual. By insisting on matters of status in dealing with you, I have done you a terrible disservice. For that, please accept my apology. Let us promise to look out for one another as friends from now on.
No need for vows. That's how I've always seen it. You weren't wrong about nobles and commoners each having their own roles. But the important thing is we help each other.
That is precisely what being friends with you has helped me to understand. In fact, I've begun somewhat to think of you as rather something more.
Huh? Sorry, what did you say?
I said, I hope we'll always give each other support.
I feel like I'm drowning in responsibilities. Claude, take my mind off it all. Regale me with another of your weird childhood stories.
Okay, then. How about an old story from a foreign land that my dad told me when I was a kid? Once upon a time, there was a white camel that got separated from his herd.
I'm so happy for that white camel. I really thought he was gonna die.
Was that story really worth bawling your eyes out over?
It was wonderful. Don't you know how moving that story is?
You know, I never thought much of it until today, but seeing you bawling like that, I do appreciate it a little more now.
What's that mean?
Well, you're always fake crying, aren't you? Getting all misty-eyed to make people think you're a delicate flower?
What? You're awful. I only cry when I'm sad.
Claim what you like, but I can spot real tears from fake tears any day of the week. Fess up.
If you understand me so well, maybe it's because you're no different.
How's that?
When you smile or laugh, it's not sincere. I can tell. I've only seen you genuinely smile a handful of times. Like when you're talking to the professor.
Wow, good one, Hilda. You hit me right in the gut. I guess you're right. I'm not so different from you in that way. But how did you come to realize that? Have you been watching me that closely?
I'm afraid so. My eyes seem to wander toward you of their own accord. What? Hold on. Forget I said that. I didn't say that.
Nope, no can do. Forgetting isn't something this crafty brain of mine is capable of. Besides, my eyes have a tendency to wander in your direction too. How else do you think I found out about your fake crying?
Huh? What are you getting at?
Say, Hilda, once everything's settled down, do you want to come meet my parents? I mean, don't get the wrong idea, you just seem interested in my family. Besides, you've opened up to me quite a bit, but I still haven't let you in on my own secrets. If you meet my parents, I think you'll understand, though it might come as a bit of a surprise.
Your family? I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious.
Well then, if neither of us changes our minds before the opportunity presents itself, let's agree to go visit my home together.
Although, if it's a long journey, my brother might not be too happy.
True, that might be a tough nut to crack. As tough as Fodlan's locket.
A rising flame was alight as the flow of time carved a new history for Fodlan. The ambitions of the Fell King Nemesis were crushed, averting what could have been the greatest crisis in the history of Fodlan. After 5.5 years of war, a new age was set to begin. Country, faith, history, all that had once formed the order of the world was wiped clean. The heroes whose very hand saved Fodlan from a dark fate commenced with the building of a new society. The leaders of this new, unified Fodlan began their walk down a seemingly endless path, one towards a world that would cherish differences in race and belief, one where all life would be valued equally. Those leaders clung to the hope that their path would not end with Fodlan, that it would someday span the seas to Dagda and beyond the throat to Elmira.